welcome to the channel and another segment of online arbitrage. This is where I go online, I find some deals that I sell on my eBay stores, flip that stuff for profits. Let's see what I found today. Here's a look at the lot that I purchased online. Bought this one for $14.17. This is the photo, the main photo that I saw. Let's go through and look at the other photos. We can supersize this, give you guys a little bit better look at them. There they are. As you can see, there's some sort of pin-up photo there. Over here we have a little Santa Claus, ceramic Santa or something. The photos aren't quite in focus. They're a little bit blurry, at least that main photo is. There's a look at that Santa. Looks to be vintage. I'm not sure exactly. A little ceramic Santa. He's holding something. Might be a candle holder or something. This is, I'm not sure what this is. It says Japan on it. Oh, maybe that's this bottom of the Santa. There we go. There's a little sticker. Is that Rihanna? I don't know. A little pin-up sticker. And it looks like Elvis over there. A little card of Elvis or something. Looks like a baseball card in there. A Topps baseball card. So, I don't really remember this too much. Looks like a screwdriver in there. Ooh, there's a little knife. Paraforce knife. So knives always are quick sellers if they're in good condition. A little car, a little race car. We could list that up. People do collect those. Let's see, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a great thing to resell. Saw that Coca-Cola hat, and that's easy $15 or maybe more if it's vintage. Gennard, I don't know what that is. Says some sort of front or back. I'm not sure. Gennard. Have to look at that in more detail. So that's back to the main photo. Looks like a woman with a bow and arrow. So scantily clad woman with a bow and arrow. Maybe that's what caught my eye. There it is in the entire lot. Not a bad little lot for $14. So we're gonna get into it and see what it looks like. Maybe there's some surprises in there. So let's go take a look. Here it is. Here's how it showed up at my door, coming from Gainesboro, Tennessee. Gainesboro, Tennessee. So we're gonna dive into this, get this opened up, and take a look at the goodies inside. See what we can flip online for some profits. That's the name of the game. So I'm gonna get my scissors out, cut this one open, and give you guys a look at what's inside. Give me a second to get those scissors. Alright, here we go. We're ready to get into this. It looks like, it feels like they put it in a shoebox maybe. We'll have to look and see what kind of packing job they did. I might not even need these scissors, but just to make it easy, let's cut this guy open. Like I said in previous videos, I like to try to save the paper if I can. I'll use it as packing material. It does have a little scent of smoke, so they may be a smoker. Yeah. So we'll pull this out. Try to be neat and tidy as possible. I guess this just is a newspaper or a paper bag, so it's not really necessary that we save it, but it is nice of them to wrap it up so nice and neat. Okay, let's see, here we go. This is their packing job. They put the little piece of cardboard on top of a box that they had. It works though, not complaining. It's not a bad little pack job. We're gonna get into this though. Alright, first thing I see is that that Coca-Cola hat. I'm trying not to make too much noise here. We'll get into this though. They didn't spare any tape. There's quite a bit of tape on this. Wanted to make sure it got to me in one piece. Alright, now we got that out of there. First thing I see is this Coca-Cola hat. Let me get into this 1 second. So it looks like what they did is they packed everything inside this bag in the Coca-Cola hat, which is smart. You know, give it a little extra padding. So they just put it all inside that Coca-Cola hat inside a bag here. So we can put this box to the side and we'll get into the bag now. That's what we're dealing with. So here's what we got once we get it out of the box. That Coca-Cola hat and then all the goodies inside here. Well, this might be that envelope. Might be some sort of packing label. Let's get in here and see what we got. Alright, here we go. We got this hat out. This is, oh there it is. That's the scantily clad gal with the bow and arrow. I'm not sure exactly. It has some sort of little signature at the bottom there, so it might be something. But there she is. That's the first item we pulled today. I'm not sure what this would be worth. Maybe $5, I would guess. Alright, the next thing that I'm seeing is this. This is a little knife, Paraforce knife. It's probably like a 3-inch blade. Not in great condition, but probably sellable. Again, that's probably worth $5 to $10, I would guess. And when we paid, what, $14 for this entire box, so we're already $10 in with just 2 items. Alright, this, another little photo. This is a very small photo. I'm not sure if that's Elvis. It kind of looks like Elvis. What do you guys think? Is that Elvis? I don't know. Alright, this was kind of a mystery. I saw this in the photos. I didn't know what this was. It says Gerard on it. Still kind of unsure of what this is. I'll have to examine it a little bit more. You guys know what that is? Looks like it has some sort of... Is it tape dispenser? Is my first guess. I don't know. But I'll have to figure that out. Let's see. This... couple little... This is the real junk of a junk drawer. I don't know what this is. The little... I guess it's an outlet, right? Some sort of outlet. That is definitely junk. Vintage junk, right? That's probably not sellable. That's probably more like garbage. Alright, here's the item that they featured. This was that little snowman. Not snowman, little Santa candle holder. Made in Japan. This might actually have some value if it's a vintage candle holder from Japan. I don't know. I'll have to look it up and see. It's kind of interesting. Usually don't sell little ceramic things because they break too easy, but I'm trying to change my mind about some of that stuff and start listing a little bit more collectible items like this. I don't know, what do you guys think? What is this thing worth? It appears to be in pretty good condition if you look at it closely. Not a lot of flaws that I'm seeing. So I could easily list that up. We'll look it up and see that it's not, if it's worth anything. Otherwise, I'm guessing probably like a $10. List it for maybe $9.97 is what I'm thinking, and plus shipping. So that would be a decent asking price. Good spot to start, I think. All right, we got a couple more smalls in here. A little look like a kid size harmonica or something. Has a little decoration on it. It's just plastic, not a metal one. Probably minimal value, a couple bucks. There's also a little keychain, so definitely junk. You get a little junk in a junk drawer box, so it's to be expected. Let's see what else we got in here. We have this little screwdriver, probably not much value to that, and this little car, little race car. This race car, maybe I could probably list that for about $5, and it would sell over time. People do collect these, so this race car definitely has a little bit of value. So here we are, the Coca-Cola hat. This is what they put it all inside of. I think this hat is probably worth about $14.99, I would guess, plus shipping. I think that's a good starting price. And considering we paid $14 for the entire unit, that we'll get our money back in just one item, which is what you want to do. It is a genuine Coca-Cola. If you look at the label there, it says Coca-Cola right on it. So it's the real deal. We'll look them up, see what Coca-Cola hats go. This might be a vintage hat, so it might be worth a little bit more. We never want to underprice something. We want to get the full amount for the item that we can get. The final items in this little junk drawer lot was this, trading cards, it appears. There's a little box here with a bunch of trading cards in them. We're going to go through these real quick, give you guys a look at them, see if there's anything special in here. Looks like Paul Coleman. Ooh, a little sticker. That must be that little sticker. Yeah, there it is. That little pin-up sticker. That's probably worth a few bucks itself, actually. Looks like who we got here. Mark Grant. I don't know. Pedro Martinez. That might be a decent one. This is a vintage card right here. We'll have to look this one up. Bert Hooton of the Dodgers. I don't know Bert Hooton. Do you guys know Bert Hooton? Is he someone special? We'll have to look him up. So this Bert Hooton card is a 1982 Topps card. Older card, so it's kind of rare to find it in a lot like this. There is some older items in this lot, so maybe that old Santa, this 1982 card. There may be some value here that we're not aware of yet. Here's another one from 82. This is Astros Art Howe. Art Howe from 1982, 82 Topps. So some old 1980s cards, usually the 90s cards are, you know, overproduced, but sometimes the 80s cards are worth a little bit of money. So we'll have to look those up. Maybe we have a score. All right, that battery died, but I'm back in business. Like I said, that 82 Art Howe, that was the last one we left off on. A couple 1982 cards. Dan Wilkinson, I'm not familiar. Looks like a Cincinnati player from back in the day. See, who is this one? Legend Series. John Riggins, not a great condition, a little bit of damage on the sides there, but John Riggins, of course the Redskins star from back in the day. Speaking of stars, there he is. He's an announcer now, but Tony Romo, Cowboys legend. Here's one of Tony Romo. All you card experts, let me know if I have anything special here. I'm not a big card guy. I used to collect back in the day, but I don't keep up with it these days. But I know some names, and I would probably know if I saw something really valuable. I don't imagine this Tony Romo is worth too much, but let me know if I stumble upon something. The last two cards were these kind of team cards from Skybox. Imagine probably aren't worth much. Charlotte Hornets and Atlanta Braves. Not Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Hawks there. I think it's a basketball card, right? Atlanta Hawks, yeah. So we got a handful of trading cards there, sports cards. And let me give you a final look at what we have here. Let me know in the comments what you think is the most valuable item out of this lot. What you think I should list first. For me, I think it's probably that Coca-Cola hat. That'll probably be the first thing I get up. But some of the other stuff might be worth listing as well. Again, paid $14 and some change for this entire thing, including shipping, so I'll definitely make some profits on this one. Online arbitrage, sometimes you gotta put the work in, so we're gonna get some of this stuff listed and hopefully get our money back real quick, hopefully based on that hat, and then anything else we list will be a straight profit. Alright, I've got it all laid out here on the table. As you can see, that nice Coca-Cola hat in the screen there, in the frame. That's probably the best item in this lot in my estimation. Probably get that one listed right away. Let me give you a look at the rest of the stuff. We got it all laid out here nice and easy for you guys to take a look at. So let's turn you around and give you a look at it. Alright, there it is, all set out. $14.17. Again, I paid for this lot. There's that Coca-Cola hat, nice looking hat, in good shape. The red and the white, the classic. The snapback in good condition, no flaws. Had that Coca-Cola logo on the inside as well, so it is the real deal. Here's that little Santa candle holder from Japan. I have to look that up and see what that's worth. We have this little race car, probably not worth too much money. A couple incidental items that probably could have been left out. This little plug is often looking pretty rough, more like just garbage. This little rusty screwdriver, probably could have left that out. This knife, not a bad looking knife, has a little wear. We could clean that up a little bit and probably get a few bucks for that. Little plastic harmonica, not worth much. A keychain, kind of rusty, probably would recycle that as well. And this, we don't even know what that is, I don't know. In this box, this was where the cards were in. There was this, it says this. What does this say? Because I said so. So we didn't show you that, but the little label there. Kind of a fun little label. Over here we have all the sports cards. Here were the two 1982 cards. Bert Hooton and Art Howe and Bert Hooton. Topps 1982. We'll have to look those up, see if they're anything special. Here's a look at the rest of the cards. This bottom row here, this looks to be Elvis. I don't know, is that Elvis or is that somebody else? Looks like Elvis to me. It doesn't have any Elvis marking on it or anything, but I'd assume it is. So we got Mark Grant from the San Francisco Giants. That's a 1985 card. Picture for the Giants. It looks like from 1985. We got the Cardinals here. Paul Coleman from the Cardinals. Let's see if we can get this glare off of here. Over here we have that classic card, that the Legends card. That's a Riggins. What's his name? Paul Riggins? No. John Riggins. That's right, John Riggins. Classic card. And up here we got Pedro Martinez, the pitcher. Over here we got this little sexy little pinup sticker. We could probably sell that for a couple bucks. I don't know if that's supposed to be Rihanna or somebody else, but looked kind of like Rihanna to me. Over here we got Don Wilkinson, and cowboy legend Tony Romo. Don't fumble, Tony. Tony Romo. Of course, Tony, every time I think of Tony, I think of that fumble he made in the playoffs when the Cowboys were trying to get into the playoffs, or they were in the playoffs. I can't remember exactly how it all panned out, but he was driving and fumbled on the goal line there, and oh, I felt so bad for Tony. He's an announcer now. He does a good job. He's much better than Troy Aikman. If I had to choose a cowboy to be an announcer, I'd much rather listen to Tony Romo. I'd much rather listen to Tony Romo. Troy Aikman just gets on my nerves. I don't know. Anybody else out there like that? Alright, the last few items. We'll stop talking about sports and Troy Aikman. Leave poor Troy alone. Here's those two cards, the Charlotte Hornets and the Atlanta Hawks. I'm sure Troy Aikman is a nice guy. If I ever met him, I'd probably like him, but not as much as Tony Romo. Let's put it that way. This is probably a postcard, I'd imagine. It doesn't have... just is like a little pinup gal with an arrow. So I don't know how much I would ask for something like. It's pretty thin actually. So it might be just a little art display. Something that came in as art, as part of something else. I don't know. You guys think that has any value? What would you price it at? I'd say probably $5 maybe. $5-10. So are there all the cards? The 1982 cards. Nice looking cards. Pretty good condition as well for 82. Bert Hooton and Art Howe. Don't know either. I'm a Dodger and an Astro. So, because I said so, there it is. And then all the rest of the goodies there. I don't know. What do you guys think? Was it a good buy? So there you have it. Another episode of Retail Arbitrage. $14.17 I paid for this lot. I think I'll make out alright. Like I said, that Coca-Cola hat has me feeling alright. I know those always sell. So there's my money back, and anything else I decide to list is just pure profit. What do you think is worth listing, and what do you think is worth putting into another junk drawer lot? That's kind of what I do with the stuff I don't want to list. I'll just list it up in another junk drawer lot and make a few bucks back that way. But I think I'm going to get some of this stuff listed for sure. That hat and maybe a few other items. But let me know in the comment, what is your favorite item out of this lot? Or is there one that I missed the value of? Is there one that stood out that is worth more money than I anticipated? Let me know. Thanks again for watching. If you guys want to find out how much this stuff sells for, you can follow my daily vlog. I do a vlog of my 2 eBay stores and my business in general. I show everything I list and what everything is selling for. Pretty detailed vlog showing you my day and how it all pans out. So these items will get listed, and then when they sell, you'll find out all about how much they sell for. I might even remember and mention that, oh, I bought that in that lot, that arbitrage lot. Hopefully you come back and we'll watch some of those vlogs and keep up with things. Trying to get to 4,000 hours of watch time, so I got quite a bit of hours to rack up. I'm at 222 subscribers right now, so if you could hit that subscription button and join the party, it would really help me out. Come back and watch a few videos. Got over 1,000 videos on my channel now, so there's plenty to watch. Lots of fun stuff up there, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Kingsbury. I'm a full-time reseller, and today we're gonna do a online arbitrage video. I bought a unit online, a junk drawer unit online. I'm gonna take that inventory, I'm gonna flip it in my eBay stores, hopefully make some profit. Let's take a look and see what I purchased this time. Here it is. I paid $30.27 all in for this one. Let's take a look at it and what we have in this unit. You can see there's some jewelry, there's some keychains, there's some buttons, Shriners, a little Shriners plaque there. It looks like a door knocker or something, a pin of some sort. Some more pins, a couple patches, all kinds of motorcycle stuff. There are those Harley Davidson patches. That was really caught my eye. I know people collect that Harley stuff. Another Harley patch, salt and pepper shaker there. Some smalls, Kansas JCs. The Kansas JCs, never heard of that, but you got the Tin Man on there, Scarecrow and the Lion. Keychain, little decorative plate. Key, another pin. All kinds of goodies. There are those patches. Keychain, star, a rusty key. Ooh, look at that. There are those salt and pepper shakers, the Shriners. Ooh, that's a beautiful opal of some sort. Not an opal, maybe an amethyst, a bluestone of some sort. We're gonna get into this box and see what it looks like live on camera. Alright, as you can see, it came to me in one of these little priority boxes, packed nice and neat, a small unit, so it didn't take much packing. Let's get into it and see what it looks like. Alright, we're in. They taped it up. They had the glue on there and then the tape over it. Was a little bit difficult to get into this one, but we got into it. Use the scissors. It's coming to us from Franklin, New Hampshire. So this is all the way from Franklin, New Hampshire. Let's get into this box and see what we have. Let's see. I think the best bet is to just set it all out here onto the table and then we'll take a look at it from above. So it looks like it's just this box right here. So let's get into this box. So it's one of those box within a box things. We had that happen last time on the last video. If you haven't seen that one, you can check that out. It's on my channel now. There's a couple of online arbitrage videos on my channel. If you like this sort of thing, consider watching. Let's see what we got. Ooh, alright. Looks like they have it all packed up pretty nice. First item is a little pin. Little pin. HG it says on there. Alright, I went ahead and laid it all out here on the table for me to go through. Let me give you guys a look at what it looks like from up above. Here's a look at everything. There's that HG pin I just showed you. Looks like we got that Shriner stuff over here, all the patches here, a little baggie here full of goodies, and then these wrapped up ones here and this little loose keychain. So I'm going to set this down and give you guys a look at them one on one. Here we go, one at a time. Let's take a look at these. I showed you this. This was that little HG pin. Not sure if that's a Harley associated pin or not, but we'll take this out of the package and get a little closer look at it in a second. Let's see, here's another pin. Looks to have like a little cobra on the front there. Give you guys a look at that one. Some of these, if we can get it to focus in, there we go. Look at that cobra on the front there. See, there's the back of it, just a pin. Put that on your lapel, have a little cobra. I'll have to look that up, see if that isn't something important. Here's another pin. This one is pretty interesting. Let me get it in the camera there, get that to focus up for you. Look at that. Pretty cool, I think. I'm not sure what something like this would be worth. What do you guys think? Maybe $5 to $10? Has the pin on the back, you could put that on. Here's a look at that Shriners placard. I'm not sure what this would be worth or what you'd actually use it for, but there it is. Pretty decorative little thing. Maybe there's some people that are part of the Shriners that collect that sort of thing, so maybe they would want to add that. I have to look that up, do a Google image search of this and see what comes up. Yeah, it turns out Google Lens is your best friend these days. You just do a Google Lens search of an image or whatever you have, and usually an eBay listing pops up and it tells you what it's listed for. Then you can search the sold listings and see what it's selling for. That's probably what I'll do with these patches as well. We got some of these patches. What does this one say? Hog 2006. It looks to be some sort of Harley associated patch. Let's see. Another one, Hog. Harley Owners Group, that's what that stands for, Harley Owners Group. So we could look that up, see what comes up. I know a lot of people do collect patches, especially Harley patches. Is that one the right way? Yeah. Harley Owners Group. So we got 3 Harley patches. Those are got to be easily worth probably $10 each, I would say. So there's $30 back. So that's what a lot of these pins are. I just noticed that that first one I showed you here, it's a hog pin, Harley Owners Group. There it is. And we have a couple more here. So we'll list these individually. Let's see if you can see that one. This camera, there we are. Harley Owners Group. So I'm not sure if people collect those, but I'm sure they do. Anything Harley people collect. So we'll have to look up all these pins, list them individually, get the most out of our investment. Harley Owners Group, so 3 pins, even if they're $5 a piece, there's 15 bucks. The patch is probably $10 a piece, another $30. And then we still have all this stuff to go through. There was this keychain. This is probably minimal. I'll probably lot up the keychains. I've got a couple keychain lots on my in my store already. Haven't had many people interested in them yet, but that doesn't mean they won't sell somewhere down the road. Sometimes that's what you have to do, is just list them up and recoup your money as they sell. Obviously not everything is going to sell overnight. Sometimes a lot of certain niches take quite a while for those buyers to discover them and find what they're looking for. Something like this, not going to take, might take a while to sell. A little set of salt and pepper shakers. Let me give you guys a closer look at these if we can get this focused in. There they are. Look at those little salt and pepper shakers. It's a cute little set. I'm not sure if they have any significant value. A lot of people collect these salt and pepper shakers, so it'll be an easy listing. Small, won't take up much space. Maybe list those for 10 bucks. Unless I discover that they're worth more. Obviously, if they're worth more, we'll list for the middle of the market. We're not going to get too greedy with this stuff, but I did find a vintage Santa in one of these lots that was going for about $50. So you know, you can find some deals in these lots. A lot of times people list these and they don't look everything up, or they don't have knowledge of what it's worth. They just list it up and send it out to the customer, and then you can benefit from that. Create that arbitrage that you speak of, that online arbitrage, and pass it on to another buyer at even more profit. Put it in your pocket. So we had one more here that was in bubble wrap. It appears to be another pin. Oh, this was that decorative pin. Let me see if we can get that focused in. There it is. It almost looks like a little saucer, but it is very small. It's just a pin. So something like that might be worth $5, I would say. Some jewelry. Somebody will want to put that on their jacket or their lapel, wear it with their outfit. Alright, the last thing we have to go through is this bag. This has all kinds of stuff in it, so I think what I'm going to do is just dump it out on the table here, and then we'll go through it and give you guys a look at it. Obviously I'll go with the most interesting items that catch my eye first, so you guys can see those. There it is, a big stack of smalls, some more smalls. We're building our smalls section in the store, so that's exactly what we're looking for. So part of my reasoning behind doing these videos is obviously to make some videos for YouTube and build this channel. I want to thank everybody for watching. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours so I can monetize my channel. I'm about 1/4 of the way there, so if you could hit that subscription button along the way, that would be great. But also I want to build a small section. I've been working on it mostly with DVDs, Blu-rays, and CDs, but I'm adding these other items, jewelry and pins and buttons and that sort of stuff. A small section is nice because it doesn't take up as much space, right? We'll have a space as a valuable commodity these days. You only have so much space in your room to store all your inventory. I have 2 stores. One has about 4,000 items, actually over 4,000, and the other one is just shy of 2,000 items. So obviously that stuff takes up a lot of space. Most of it is clothing, but I do venture into some larger stuff, and I'm trying to get away from that and focus on the smaller stuff. It doesn't take up as much space, but a unit like this is perfect. All kinds of small stuff. We can just put in a little envelope and it'll be ready for the customer. But enough about all that. Let's get into this. I know you guys want to see the rest of these, right? We got some good stuff in here. Here's a keychain. Looks to be like a little rainbow keychain. What does it say on there? Las Vegas. So we could, like I said, we could lot up these keychains, put a bunch of them together for say $9.97. That's the number I like to use. Here's a little spoon of some sort. Tiny little spoon. I'm not sure. Another keychain. What does this one say? Castro. This one says Castro on it. This looks to be some sort of baby food opener. It might be vintage. Beech nut baby food, it says on there. Here we go. This is a cool one. A little Hard Rock Cafe. So the motorcycle theme continues. A little Hard Rock Cafe motorcycle. It's not a pin. It's just kind of a, or maybe it was at one time, but it just has a flat back now. So somebody collects these Hard Rock Cafe pins. We got one here for you. This one looks to be almost another Harley thing, a little skull with the wings on it. I'll have to get a scope on these and see what they say with a little better lighting. Can you guys read that? I don't know, I'll have to look at it in more detail. I'm kind of excited about these. There's all kinds of these smalls. Look at these. These will be quick and easy to list, just a photograph. Let's get that focused in for you. There it is. So I'll have to get a scope on these, and like I said, some of these may be needed to Google image search if I don't know what they are. 5868, least we forget. There we go, a little button, little vintage button for you. This was a cool pin. I remember this one from the listing. Look at this little poodle dog. That one is pretty nice. A little pin like that might be worth a little bit more money. Might list that one for upwards of $10. Alright, we got 8 items left for me to show you guys. I want to thank you for sticking around and looking out all these online arbitrage finds. What I want you to do is leave a comment. Let me know which your favorite piece is. Let me know if there's anything of value that I should consider listing for a little bit more money. I'm not an expert on all this stuff, so if there's something that it stands out to you that you know is worth a little bit of money, let me know. Let me know in a comment. Say, hey, that pin's worth 20 bucks, Brian. Don't list that one for 5. You're going to be missing out on those profits. I know obviously those Harley pins and Harley patches probably have a little bit of demand. People collect those, so I'm going to probably list those for a little bit more money. But is there anything else in here that I should consider listing for more money? Let me know with a comment. I'd appreciate it. So like I've said in past videos, I want this to be a learning process, not only for me, but hopefully for you guys as well. Get in the comments, make friends in the comments, and let's discuss some of this stuff online and learn a little bit more about these niches. I mean, obviously you can't be an expert on everything, but there's people out there who are experts, and I encourage them to share some of their knowledge so that we can all learn and grow as a community. That's what it's all about. But enough about all that. Let's get into these last 8 items. Let me give you a look. Looks like we got another Harley hog pin here. Harley Owners Group. This one has 2 pins in one. Look at that, double. So that one's gonna definitely stay on. It's not going anywhere. Kansas JCs, the Kansas JCs. We saw this one in the pictures. Let's see, get focused there, get focused there. That one had the Tin Man, the Lion, and the Scarecrow. Kind of that Wizard of Oz theme to it. Alright, we got a few more here. What is this one? Mechanics and Marauders? My eyeballs are failing me. This is very small. Look at that. Mechanics and Marauders, I think is what it says. So we'll have to look that up, get a better look at it. This is kind of a cute little pin. Look at this. Anybody out there named Jean? Let's see if we can get that to focus. A little rainbow heart pin for Jean. Is your sweetheart Jean? We got one for you. It's got the pin on the back there. You can give that to your girlfriend Jean. Another little pin. This one is very tiny. My eyeballs will not will not see that for sure, I'm positive. We'll have to get that one under a scope and see what it says. Looks like to have some sort of boat on it from what I'm seeing here, but finally, another pin. We got 3 more to go. I want to thank you all for being so patient with me and my camera work here. I'm getting it focused as well as I can for you guys so that you can see this stuff and figure out what it is and what it's worth. We're going to do 2-4 and I'll save that last item as a grand finale. This is a couple keys. This one was that rusty key I was telling you about, and then another key. People do collect these old keys. I've sold some of them in the past. This one is probably worth a little bit more. Alright, the finale, the grand finale. This little charm is what caught my eye, one of the items that caught my eye. A nice blue stone on that one. Doesn't look to be the amethyst, but I'd have to look it up. Maybe ask my mom, she's got jewelry experience, what we would call that stone. Or maybe I'll ask you guys, what is that stone called? Let me know in the comments, what is this I'm holding up here? What is it worth? What would you guys list it for? What's the value? I'm guessing what, $10, $15, $20 maybe? But maybe it's a $50 bill, who knows? Let me know in the comments. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay all this out on the table, give you guys one last look at it, then I'm going to let you know what my favorite items are from this lot. Alright, I must say I'm getting it laid out here, and I just got myself with one of those pins. It's a good thing the camera wasn't running because I did curse a little bit. You gotta be careful with these pins. That's one thing. You stick yourself, you might end up cursing on camera. So luckily we didn't have it running, and you guys missed out on that. Alright, I've got it all laid out here on the table. I counted it. I think it's 31 items total. Let me give you guys a look at everything. There it is, a nice aerial view. Let's get in a little closer. Let me know what your favorite item is as we go through here. Start thinking about that. We have these Harley Owners Group, the hog patches, right? This one appears for 2009. This one here is a nice one with the eagle on there. Over here we got one from 2006. Up here we have the keychains, those trio of keychains. We have one that says Beer St. Pauli Girl, Las Vegas one, and then a Castrol USA. What about these? These were maybe one of somebody's favorites. A little salt and pepper shaker, have the little tops there. Over here we got the keys. We got the 3 keys and this little spoon. Put those together. Here we go, more hog pack. Well, these are the pins, actually, the hog pins. They all have different years. 06, there's another one. I don't see another one. This one was out of the packaging. Then we got the pin section, another pin section. This one was the skull with the wings. Over here looks like we have some sort of star with a cow on it. This was that really small one that had maybe a lighthouse on it. Yeah, 2 lighthouses here it looks like. These 2 are lighthouses. Let me see if I can get those to focus for you guys. Those are lighthouses it looks like. And then over here, this is a Merrill's Marauders. And of course we have this little poodle pin right there. That was a nice one. I think that one's probably worth a little bit more money. We got the Jean Rainbow pin. We got the 5868 Least We Forget pin. We got the Tin Man and Scarecrow and Lion pin, and then that floral pin there. Down here were some bigger ones. Let's start over here. This was that Shriners. That might be a coaster now that I look at it. You could put your drink right there. That might be a coaster. The Hard Rock Cafe motorcycle pin. You know, the Hard Rock Cafe kind of came and went, so those might be collectible. And then this one was probably one of my favorites. I'm going to let you know my favorite, but that one is up there. Look at that detail in that one. Definitely, that one probably is worth a little bit more money. Same with this one, that King Cobra on there. Look at that. Gold color, that gold plate, and then this was the last one we showed you. That blue stone pendant. Pretty nice. There they all are. Look at that. One last look at it. So like I said, what I want you guys to do is get in that comment section. Let me know which one was your favorite. Hey Brian, That blue stone was my favorite. Let me know. I'm gonna let you know right now. Let's take a look, and I'll tell you what my favorite item is. Right, which one is Brian's favorite? Which one's Brian's favorite? Was it the keychains? Was it salt and pepper shakers? No. Was it the patches? Look at that patch with the eagle. Was that Brian's favorite? Nope. Was it the pins? Was it one of these small pins? Was it the plate? Was it that little plate? No. Was it that poodle? Ooh, I do like that poodle. Was it that poodle? Nope. Here it is. My favorite. My favorite. This one right here. You guys thought I was gonna pick that other one, didn't you? This one is my favorite right here. Look at that cobra. Look at the detail in that one. Nice little piece right there. Gonna mark that up and make some good profit off that one. That one is definitely my favorite piece of the unit. Of course, second place right here, second place. These two I think are the nicest ones of the unit, in my opinion. But what does that mean, right? That's just one man's opinion. What's your opinion? Let me know in the comments, which is your favorite piece? Which one would you want to add to your collection? Let me know with a comment. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little look into the world of online arbitrage. You too can go online, buy a junk drawer lot, and flip it for profits on eBay. I've got 2 eBay stores. I'm going to split this stuff up in my eBay stores. It's going to go up there. If you want to follow that journey, I do have a daily vlog that comes out. You can follow it and see when I list these items and when they sell, how much they list for, how much they sell for, that sort of thing. I put it out on the daily, kind of follows my journey as a reseller. So please consider subscribing to my channel and keeping up with that vlog. It's kind of a fun little daily vlog. We can get to know each other a little and learn a little bit more about reselling. So hit that subscription button, ring that notification bell, come back for some more of these online arbitrage videos. I'm going to do some more of them. I've got some more junk drawer lots already purchased and ready to come through the mail to me. So I'm going to be posting these as soon as they come in. I'm going to do them. So come on back for some more. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching this one. Bye. Welcome back to the channel, another segment of online arbitrage. This is where I go on eBay and I scour the internet for deals that I can flip into my eBay stores. I've got 2 eBay stores. I look for those deals, stuff that I can make money, that I can turn for profit. I go looking for junk drawers. I go looking for clothing lots, all kinds of great stuff like that. This time we found a junk drawer lot that had some potential. I picked this one up. Let me give you guys a look. Alright, here's a look at the photos of everything that I had purchased. I got this one for $17.61, just $17.61 shipped. That includes shipping. A winning bid was $5.24 plus shipping of $10.98. Came to me in a flat rate envelope, so good. Took me 2 days to get it, so nice prompt delivery on this one. Let's get a better look. You see there's the Superman on the front. That's just a VHS. Again, you pay $17 for this. You're looking for like 1 or 2 items to make your money back, and then everything else you list is just profit. Let's see, we got the marbles in there. We got a little toy car. You seen another VHS. There's a little wallet. So you see that little wallet there? That could easily be $10, maybe more. We'll have to look at it and see the quality. I also see a lot of Disney stuff. All those Disney, it looks like pins or like some sort of Disney. You see that? All those little Disney things. So we're gonna have to look at those and see exactly what they are. This looks to be a lighter up there. A lighter, a cup that's like a lighter maybe. I don't know. Oh, Lennox. I think there is some Lennox in this. There's that nice looking car. So we'll get into this. There's all your marbles that you lost. And that's the Lennox, those 2 Lennox frames. I've been listing some Lennox lately and having some luck, so when I saw that Lennox, I was like, this one might be one to pick up. So there it is. So that's what I initially saw. Like I said, I bid that one up to $5.24 and won that sucker, plus shipping, $17 all in, $17.61 I think it was. Came from Florida, so it was a quick delivery. 2 days they got it to me, so excellent job there. Let me give you guys a look at the package. Here it is, a legal size flat rate envelope, jam-packed full of goodies, all kinds of potential here. We can relist this stuff and make some profits. So I'm not gonna wait any longer. I know what you guys came for. You want me to get into this thing and show you what we got. Let's do it. So there you see it. I got in there, almost lost my marbles. We'll see, I cut right through that marbles, looks like. But they had it nice and neat wrapped up. I think we're gonna just put it out here nice and neat on this table and then give you guys a look at it. So we'll set it out here nice and gentle so we don't break anything. They got some nice packing materials. They did a good job with the packing of this one. So let's put it all out here on the table and then we'll go through it one on one. So I think I just said one-on-one, I meant one by one, obviously. I'm going to give you the aerial view. I got it all set out here on the table. Let me give you guys a look from up top. So there's a look at everything. Like I said, they packed it up nice and neat, wrapped it all up perfectly. Got to me in one piece, so kudos to them on a job well done with packing. A lot of sellers have issue with that. You guys got that aerial view? I think we're just gonna grab them. We're gonna just start grabbing and opening, and I'll give you guys a look as we do it. This was the first one that caught my eye. A little pack here of deal or no deal, looks like. Deal or no deal card game, a little card game, deal or no deal. I didn't notice that in the photos, so a little surprise here. It looks to be in good condition, probably never used. Let's get this, yeah, it's taped on the top, so I don't know if they added that tape or it's never been opened, but we'll look that up and see what that's worth. That's easily $5 to $10. The next thing that caught my eye was the wallet. We saw that wallet in the photos, so let's see, they got it packed up nice in these little packages. I'll save these so I can use them in the future, but here's a look at that wallet. A nice little brown wallet. Has a snap, it looks like. Try not to break it. Oh, there it goes. Typical wallet. Has a little zipper on the side here. Let's get into it and see what it looks like on the inside. It's clean. Clean, nice, clean, good wallet. I was thinking $5 to $10, but I think this one might be more worth 15. Maybe list this for $14.97 plus shipping. I don't know if it's leather. It might be. Probably not, but nice looking wallet. Alright, let's keep it going. This one caught my eye as well. I'm going with all the stuff that I can visually see. Those were the first things that caught my eye. This one is a little difficult to get into. It looks like some sort of all-sided die. Dice for some sort of game, maybe. So I'm going to try to get into this so I could give you guys a better look. It's a little bit tricky. Alright, we got into it. Let me give you guys a look here as I pour these out. There they are. Give you guys a look at those. See if we can get it to focus a little bit better. There they are. Look at those dice. All kinds of interesting dice. I don't know if these are part of some sort of Dungeons and Dragons game or what, but we'll have to look those up and see if they have any special value. So like I've said in previous videos, I'm trying to make this a learning experience for me. I don't have a lot of experience with role-playing games, Dungeons and Dragons and whatnot. If you guys have knowledge of what these die are, let me know in the comments. If they're worth something, I want to know so I can get the maximum amount of money for my merchandise here. So please educate me as we go along here. That's part of what I'm doing this online arbitrage, so I can learn some new categories and benefit from them in the future, and hopefully you guys can as well. Alright, we got 9 left, 9 little packages left. I think we're gonna go with this one here. This one we can kind of see it. Looks to be some sort of Christmas design on the front there, but let's open it up and see what it is exactly. It's got a nice little bubble mailer, so maybe it is a little delicate. There it is. 3 packages. Snow. It says Snow Fantasy on the back. Snow Fantasy. So let's get in there. Okay. Looks to be like a little ornament. A little ornament. There's one. Little glass ornament. So Christmas just came and went, but I did pretty well throughout Christmas with these ornaments. Something like this would easily sell $5 to $10. We got 3 of them, so that's good news. So I went and opened all 3 of them so I could give you a detailed look at what they are. There's one there. Let's see, here's another one in this. Just different designs. They all are different. So those 1, 2, and you saw the original one was this one here. Looks like they have been opened. Maybe they got it as a Christmas gift and they're passing it along, but we'll take it. 3 ornaments, $15 easily, maybe more. Alright, like I said before, $17 I think 61 cents we paid for this one. It wasn't too much, a pretty inexpensive little venture. $5.24 took to win it, and plus shipping, and we got another deal here. Let's take a look at this one. This is one I can see. It looks to be probably the top to that lighter. The lighter might be in the other packaging here, but this looks to be the top to that lighter. In good condition. Let's see if we can get you guys focused in. There it is. Nice looking top to that lighter. We're gonna keep going, try to find that lighter, but here's the missing piece if we should find it. Alright, we've got 7 more to go through. Here's one that I can tell exactly what this is. A couple rings there. Let's get into this one since they are in plain view here. I did recently sell a ring that I listed that I got out of one of these online arbitrage videos. It sold overnight, a little eyeball with hands around it, and it sold for $16. So rings, I've never sold them in the past, but it might be something worth getting into. Here's one, size 9 it looks like. Let me get that focused in for you guys. There it is. We'll have to probably take it out of this packaging so we can get better photos and get you guys a better look at it in the future if you want to purchase it or list it online, but we're going to leave it in there for now. There's a size 9 and as well as a size 12. I'm trying not to make too much noise getting into these, but so maybe like a little his and hers set. A little his and hers set of rings. So size 9 and a size 12. I don't know what the value of that would be, but I'm guessing, you know, $10 to $20 probably. You could easily list those online, get some nice photos and make them look really sharp in the listing, and get a decent amount of money for them. So it's starting to add up. $5.24 we won it all for, so we easily got our money back, but let's see what else we have. So we've got 6 more to go. There's a little tiny one here. Let's get into that one. It'll be easy to open. What I want you guys to think about is, what is your favorite one that I've opened? Which one do you think is worth the most money? Which one should I list first to make my profits back? All that kind of stuff. Leave it in a comment. I'd be interested to hear your feedback. Also, if you can educate me on anything like those dice, what those are, if you have knowledge of some of this stuff that I might not have, please share it. I want to learn as I go. Okay, I'm gonna get the scissors because this one is being difficult. Alright, we're in. Let's see what we got here. Alright, here we go. Sold these, sold little cars like this before. Look at that guy. It's a pretty nice one, in good condition. You can buy these pretty cheap, but sometimes if they're the older ones, or this one, it looks to be a little bit specialized, we might be able to get like 10 bucks for them. If it's one of the older ones. Sometimes you just gotta list them and wait for the right collector who's looking for that model. This is a nice one though. I think it might have a little bit more value than the typical car. Kind of a souped up hot rod. So again, if you guys have knowledge of these die-cast cars, this is a small one. Let me know. What would you list this for? How much would you start it at? So I'm trying to look for the model. I don't know any of you car guys out there. I'm not a huge car guy myself. Is this an El Camino? Kind of looks like El Camino to me. Souped up El Camino possibly? I don't know. Take a look at it. Let me get it focused in. Give you guys a good look at that one. Let me know the make and model of that so I can put it into my listing, because I'll need to know that information. It's a nice colorway, that kind of the blue and the white. Wouldn't mind having a car look like that. Alright, we still got 5 to go. I think we might as well go with these marbles. I almost cut into them. I might have cut into them when I opened the packaging. I got a little ahead of myself. It doesn't appear to be in some sort of netted baggie. So I'm going to be careful not to spill my marbles all over the place here. But some vintage marbles can be worth quite a bit of money. These didn't appear to be the older models, older type of marbles, but a nice little bag of marbles. There we go. Look at those. There is a nice shine on these. I'm not going to open the bag, but let's see if we can get a little closer look, give you guys a look at some of those. The camera is there. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see through the netting, but once I list those online, I'll definitely open this bag and get a better photos of all of them laid out for the buyer. Alright, we got 4 more to go. Just a reminder to everybody who's new to this type of venture, this is online arbitrage. That's what I call it. You go online, eBay or whatnot, wherever you can find a deal, and you just buy up a lot and you relist it on eBay for more profits. I've got 2 eBay stores. If you like following vlogs, I do a daily vlog of my eBay store, so you can keep up with everything that I'm listing and everything that's selling. You can find out what's selling for good money and learn about some new niches that you might want to venture into in the future. But let's get into this one. We got one sitting here ready to be opened. Alright, we're in. This one wasn't packed up as as well as the others, I would say, but I mean, he taped it up good and it made it to me in one piece, so we can't complain. But this are those Disney pins, these little placards here. Look at this one. I'm not sure the value of stuff, but anything Disney is definitely has some value. People do collect these. So there's one of them. Let's get in here a little deeper and see what else we got. There was all kinds of these. I thought they might have been for beverages to put on, but it looks like they are collectibles here. So we have some different Disney characters on here. What's that? The cats? What is that? Let's see. Family Holiday Celebration 2015. So that was 2015. The other one also says Family Holiday Celebration. Let's see what else we have in this one. So there's 2. Family Holiday Celebration. So this is 2013. So they have a whole set here. Apparently they collected these every Christmas. And there's a nice finish on these. They're well made. Disney doesn't do things cheap. They got enough money to make quality products over there. And here's another one. Family Holiday Celebration 2016. So we'll have to look these up, do a little Disney research. It's always a good niche to do some research in. Disney stuff will always sell. They kind of built it in there. They have that brand that everybody knows. So we got 4 here. 4 of those. Even if they're $10 a piece, there's $40, right? We've invested $5.24 into the inventory. We can quadruple our money right there, easy. Alright, we're down to the last 3 packages here. This one is a little 2-in-1. 2 of these came out of here. Let's get into these. These have these nice plastic, these thick plastic. I'm really impressed with their packing job. This seller did an excellent job packing these. I've seen much worse over the years. I think this is the Lennox. These were those 2 Lennox, yep, 2 little Lennox picture frames. There's one of them, you can see a little heart-shaped picture frame. Put a little picture of your loved ones in there. There you see it, it says Lennox, it's the real deal. Some of this Lennox can sell for quite a bit of money. Something small like this might not be too much, but I recently sold some Christmas ornaments for $137. So I have some good, excellent sales of Lennox this season, especially this Christmas. Yeah, if you keep up with my daily vlog, you'll see me post those Lennox sales as they come in. Some of them, I think I've had 3 sell for over $100. I was really surprised. I got those in a storage unit a few years back and have finally listed them up, and they sold pretty quickly. I wanted to get them sold this holiday season. Some of them did sell before Christmas, but others have continued to sell. Here's the other one, same deal. So maybe we could, you know, put a his and hers. We got the rings, his and hers, and now we got some Lennox frames here, his and hers. So I'll have to look those up, see what something like this is going for. I guess off the top of my head, maybe easily $20 for the set. Maybe more though. We'll have to look it up, see what the market is telling us. Alright, we're down to the last two items. If you guys have made it this far, I want to thank everybody for watching. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to do more of these. They're kind of fun way to get to know some new inventory. Hopefully you guys can get to know me and enjoy my little ventures online. We have this box here, which almost looks like a jewelry box. This is probably my favorite looking box out of the bunch, and I already think I know what is in here. So let's go with this one, and we'll save this nice one for the end. Little suspense here. Let's get into this one here, and I'll give you guys a look. Alright, just as I suspected, it's that Superman VHS here, and U571, another VHS tape. VHS, I don't typically sell VHS, and not a lot of demand for it. Some people do still collect it and buy it. This one is in very good condition, I must say. So even if you get $5 a piece for them, that's still double my investment, so I can't really complain. Let's look inside this Superman, make sure he looks alright. Yeah, it looks like it's a good condition VHS. So I have a section of media in my photo station that I just grab occasionally, mostly DVDs and CDs, but I'll add these to the mix and list them someday. Who knows how quick these probably won't be the first thing I list, because the demand is not there for VHS, but I'll get them online eventually and make that sale. Alright, we've made it down to the last box, this cool little black box here. I have no idea what's in it. I remember the pictures is looking through those earlier, thinking did we miss, I think I know what it is now. You guys know what it is? Let's see if we're right. Put it in the comments. Put your guess in the comments. Let me see. There's one thing that I mentioned earlier that's missing from this, right? So this has got to be, let's see. Oh, let's wreck the box a little. The box is not in perfect condition. Well, not anymore. I just tore a little bit more of it off of there, but nice looking box. Let's see what is in it. Let's see. And they taped this up something fierce. I'm gonna have to get scissors on this one as well. Just as I suspected, it's that other piece to that lighter. See, this goes right here. That's a nice looking piece. Added a little bubble in there. We'll leave that in there for now. No markings on the bottom. I'm not really sure what that is, but definitely a little collectible lighter. That's how it works back in the day. So that thing is nice. I don't know what those would sell for. If you guys have knowledge on lighters, I've only sold like Zippo lighters and some others, but nothing big fancy like this. This might be a score. Oh, look at that, the home country. We got a little. This might be a little Delk blue. Kind of looks like the Delk blue. I just noticed that with the windmill on the front there. Is this a little Delk blue lighter? I don't know. We'll have to do some research, but if it is Delk blue, that stuff is always desirable. People buy that stuff up left and right. So there we have it. I'm gonna lay it all out here on the table, and like I said before, I want you guys to pick your favorite item, what you think I should list first, and I'll get it listed into my store right away. But I want to hear from you. Put it in the comments. Let me give you guys one last look at it. We'll get an aerial view here. I'll clean up this little mess and give you guys a final look at it, so stay tuned. Alright, we've got everything laid out here on the table so you guys can get a good look at it and let me know what your favorite item is. I'm gonna let you know what my favorite is, but let's take a look and see what we got. So there it all is, everything we got in this unit. Like we said, $17 I think we paid. Here's a look at it. That Superman VHS, that U571 VHS special edition from Universal. The Deal or No Deal playing cards. That's an easy listing item. This nice brown wallet We have all these Disney charms here. Family Celebration, Family Holiday from Disney. The Dalmatians, and then the cats, and Mickey and Minnie, and Pluto, and 2013, 2016, 2015, and 2017. So they got them all covered there. We have these dice here, these little green dice. I'm not sure much about those, but we'll have to do some research. The two Lennox, we got the nice Lennox frames here. The Delk Blue lighter, that was a surprise. I think it's Delk Blue. We have this, is it an El Camino? I don't know, you guys were gonna tell me. Is this an El Camino? A nice looking car. Nice black, blue and white paint job. The rings, size 12, size 9. A couple little wedding rings, could it be? Is there wedding bells in your future? And then we have the marbles. Here you can see the see, I knew that was gonna happen. I did get a little hole in this bag, so we might have to tape that back together. I got a little hole in the bag, but there's those marbles. And then up here were these ornaments. We had the 3 ornaments, the glass ornaments that I showed you, easily worth $5 a piece. Take one last look at it and let me know with a comment. Go to the comment section and let me know which one was your favorite. So I told you I was gonna tell you my favorite, right? I think monetarily, the Lennox. Monetarily, the Lennox. I know that Lennox sells, and I've had some big sales with Lennox, so I'm excited to get that listed and make a quick sale and get my money back. I know I can count on that Lennox to get that money back. The surprise of the unit was that Delk Blue lighter. If that is Delk Blue, that might be it. So I had that battery die on me real quick while I was talking about that Delk Blue. I was saying, if that is Delk Blue, that might be a lofty sale. That might be some decent money. I'm not really sure how much something like that goes for, but in my mind, easily $20, right? So there's I paid $5.24 for all of it plus shipping, so that would be a nice markup, a decent profit right off the bat. So that was the surprise of the unit. But what was my favorite? Which was my favorite? Which was my favorite? There you go. You ask any guy what's his favorite thing. It's a nice sports car, right? Look at that. That's my favorite. I might play with that a little today. Who knows? Get some use out of it. Zoom it around the table a little. So just because that was my favorite doesn't mean that's the one you guys have to choose. Go to the comment section. Let me know which one you liked. Was it the Deal or No Deal playing card game? Was it the wallet? Was it the Disney placards? Was it the Superman VHS? I'm sure somebody might pick Superman, right? Those Lennox, hard to beat those Lennox. Let me know with your comments. I want to thank everybody for watching. Like I said, this is my venture into online arbitrage, buying stuff online to resell online for big profits. I've done a few videos. You can check out a few more of these. Usually call junk drawer lots. That's what I like to search and buy up. But there's a lot of opportunities out there. We're gonna look into some more of those in the future. So if you want to subscribe to my channel and come back, you're always welcome. Come back and watch those videos as I put them out. You can search online arbitrage to find the ones that are up there right now, and we're gonna do more. Like I said, I do a daily vlog. If you want to see what some of this stuff is selling for, follow that vlog. I put it out daily, and you can just watch and see what I'm listing it for, see the research I'm doing, see how much it's selling for. All that stuff will be in my daily vlog. While I got you here, I might as well tell you about a couple more segments I have on my channel. I do Bolos with Brian, right? Bolos with Brian Kingsbury, that's me. I let you guys know about stuff that has a good sell-through rate. You know, if you're a reseller out there and you want to know what sells for big money, what sells fast, that's one of the big things. You check out the supply and the demand of items on eBay, see what has high demand and what you want to pick up at the thrift store. So Bolos with Brian, you can search my channel and find a few of those up there. I also do another segment I've started recently called Brian Reads the News, where I just read news articles. Lately I've been doing news articles on resellers, storage wars, American pickers, those type of stories about Frank Fritz. I just did an article on Frank Fritz. Frank suffered a stroke, so he's no longer part of that show, unable to continue. You can watch that, read that. watch me read that article. That's what I want you to do. There's other articles up there. Dave Hester, that's the one I did today. Did a little Brian reads the news on Dave Hester, what he's up to, why he left the show, what happened there. So there's all kinds of Brian reads the news articles on there. There's regular news stories as well. So if you like to keep up with what's going on in the world, come visit my channel and I'll help you do that. Alright, once again I want to thank everybody for taking the time to spend a little time with me this afternoon. Hopefully you'll be back to watch some more in the future, but if you're not, I want to thank you for your moments today. Thank you again. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Welcome to the channel. My name is Brian Kingsbury. I'm a full-time reseller. Today we're going to get into an online arbitrage purchase I made on eBay in order to flip for profits. Yep, I bought a junk drawer lot online, looking to flip that inventory into even more profits. Let's take a look and see what I bought. Here's a quick look at what I purchased. Paid $22.81 for this lot of goodies. Like I said, $22.81 for this purchase. Had a lot of good stuff, mostly smalls. They had it nicely photographed. And I did spot one item that made it worth my while. One item I did some research on and knew I could flip for some big money. Let's take a look at this. Here it is. Came to my door, showed up in one piece from Salem, Oregon. I'm gonna get into this package and see what it all entails. So like I said, I bought this for that one particular item, but I know that there's a lot more in this that could have some additional value. So we're going to get into it, do a little bit of research and see what I got out of this lot. These small lots are sometimes fun to do because people list them up and they don't always do the research. They just put it up there looking to make a few bucks on a junk drawer lot and they don't do the research. Sometimes there's some real treasures in what is listed online. If you just take the time to do the research, you can really make a lot of money. Alright, let's get into this guy. I'm going to be careful to cut this open. It feels like they packed it really nice, but we'll take a look inside here and find out how they did. Looks like I got it in one of these mailers, but they also put some styrofoam around it maybe. Alright, looks like an envelope inside of an envelope. So we're going to get into this envelope next. So as a reseller, I like to cut into these envelopes carefully because I can reuse these, use these to ship out some packages. Instead of paying for envelopes, you might as well reuse them, right? I'm kind of think of myself as the ultimate recycler. You know, your inventory is recycled typically, and if you can find these envelopes and recycle those as well, you might as well. So I'm not going to go as far to reuse the tape. Obviously this one doesn't have much stickiness left to it. Well, we could probably use that, but we're going to throw that away and just keep this envelope. Try to keep it in one piece. It's a nice padded envelope, and I can definitely use that for my inventory. Alright, as you see, we got that one open in one piece, and it looks like that there's another envelope, so a third envelope. They definitely put some extra time into packing this order. So the good news is, so far we got 2 envelopes we can reuse. When you pay about 5 cents for an envelope, that's 10 cents in savings already, right? So just to let all you resellers out there know, when someone puts priority envelopes inside another envelope, that's kind of a faux pas. You're not supposed to do that, but it looks like that's what they did here. They used the priority shipping envelopes that they give for free at the U.S. Postal Service to slide that into those 2 other envelopes, and it feels like there's probably even a priority box in here. So if you're shipping with priority products, you gotta ship priority. That's kind of the rule. Yep, just as I suspected, they used one of these handy little priority boxes that the USPS supplies. Definitely a good way to ship, but when you do that, you're supposed to be shipping priority, so might want to let that seller know to avoid that in the future. So I'm not really here to be a USPS Postal Service policeman to this seller, but I'm here to get these deals. So we're going to get into this box and find out what we got. Alright, we got even more free USPS postal packaging. They're using a third one now. This is a padded envelope. This is an express envelope, I think. EMS. Well, yes, an express envelope now. So now that we're in express, you're using express packaging. So we got priority. Now you got to ship it express if you really want to be by the rules. But okay, we're going to stop talking about the packaging. We're going to get into this and find the product. Let's check it out. Alright, let's see what we got in here. There it is. There's what we bought. Let's get this envelope open. Just to let you know, that is kind of a risky venture when you're putting priority and express envelopes in a ground advantage package. If the USPS opens that and determines that you used express packaging, they could automatically charge you, go from ground advantage all the way to express. So that'll cost quite a bit of money, and they can do that. Alright, I'm going to open this up and lay all the contents out here on the tabletop, and then I can show it to you guys one at a time. So this might make some noise, so we'll be gentle with it. Alright, there it is. We got it all out here on the table. Alright, I see the main item. We're going to set that one aside. That was what I bought it for. We got all kinds of good stuff in here. Let's see what we got. Alright. Some of it is kind of stuck together. Let me give you guys a better look at what we got here. So I put the main item to the side there by the scissors, but here's what we're working with. We got all kinds of stuff here. A lot of jewelry kind of tangled together. Not really my favorite thing to do is untangle this, but we're going to put some time into separating all this and see what we got. So just a hint, if that seller would have put the time into separating this mess instead of putting in 5 different envelopes, this would probably help me a lot better if you could separate this jewelry a little bit. So if we keep these chains in a separate little baggie, that would be ideal, because when it comes like this is not helpful. So I'm going to put some time into separating all this and show it to you once I'm done. Alright, I spent some time separating this lot into different categories here. I put some time into taking that mess of a necklace apart, getting that tangled. It's still tangled up quite a bit, but I've got it separated a little bit so I can kind of see what I'm working with now. Let me give you guys a look at what we're dealing with. Alright, here's what we got here. This was that necklace that was all tangled up. I was working on that. It looks to be like 3 pendants, these little white pendants, small little white pendants. I think this is some sort of separate tie tack. Over here we have all kinds of buttons. Probably not much value to those. This was kind of an interesting item. You have the 8 balls, the APA is what it says on it. It's in its own little baggie, brand new. It says APA on the back, so we'll have to do some research on, see what that is, see if it has any value. Might be a quick little trinket we could sell. But over here I think is the items that we can put online pretty easy. There were a couple coins here, we'll look into those, a little nickel, and I'm not sure, this might be a foreign coin of some sort. This was a couple US military pins. Has the double backing on there, so those would be easy to list. I'm guessing probably maybe $10 for that set. We had a couple rings here. These were pretty nice little rings. Not sure how much value they would have, but We could easily list those. It wouldn't take much doing. This one was kind of cool. Had a little 2 hands and like a little stone in the middle there. Looks to be a men's size ring. We'll have to check on that. But interesting ring. That might be a $14.99 type of ring, I'd guess, since it is unique. This little car was much smaller than I thought it would be. As you can see, all this stuff is little smalls. Not much to this lot. But a little purple car, probably a vintage little car. Maybe list that for $5. Military buttons, that's one thing you don't want to overlook. Sometimes if these are a real military button, not the reproductions, these can be worth quite a bit of money. So we'll have to check this one out, see if it's the real deal. It looks to be. You can see the markings on the back there. Have to get my scope out and see where it's from. A lot of times a uniform will lose a button and people will go online searching for the replacement. And they'll pay up for it to get the original. So that might be some value right there. We list that up and find the right buyer. That could definitely be some profits. This was kind of an interesting little piece. A little pin, it looks like. Has some sort of leaf design or with berries. I think a berry design. Kind of a unique little pin. Could list that up. Not sure how much to ask for something like that. Maybe $9.99 as well. And you know, this stuff all ships pretty cheap though. This was actually that little knife. Again, much smaller than I thought it would be. But it is kind of a cool little knife. Open that up, get some good photos of that. And someone collecting these types of things will probably buy that. Again, these are all kind of $9.99, $5.99 type of items, but it all adds up. And then this was a little pair of shears. Look at that. Look how tiny that is. I mean, you can see my thumb. It's the size of my thumb. So tiny little shears. I'm not sure if that's just something you wear on a necklace or what. I can't imagine you would use those for anything, but maybe you would. I don't know. Definitely interesting little items. So there it is. This necklace, I'm not sure if I will list that separately. Once I get it untangled, I can get a better idea of what it is and how much it'll be worth. Again, I don't think we have any gold or silver here. They didn't overlook any of that, but we'll check it all out in a little bit more detail to make sure it doesn't have any markings on there. But let's get to what we bought this lot for. There was one item I set to the side here that I think is going to make it worth my while. Let me give you guys a look at that. So this is the reason I purchased this lot. This is a little Balboa lighter. It has a little van on front that says, "Have tubes, will travel." A little red van with the green accents. If you look these up, these sell pretty well. Little collectors will buy these. And let's take a look at the sell-through rate of these online, shall we? There you see it. That's what they're called. Wellington Balboa lighter. Let's take a look. So it looks like there's currently 104 Wellington Balboa lighters listed on eBay. Correction, when we search by highest price first, it says there's 115 listed online. Let's take a look at some of these lighters. Here's one that's going for $200. $199.99, $159.99, $140 for that Los Angeles Angels one. Here's one for $149.99, $129.99, $119.99. So obviously you can ask any amount of money for stuff online. Sometimes people make that mistake. They go online and think, oh, it's worth $100, right? What you have to do is check the sold listings. So we saw that there's 115 currently listed. Let's take a second and check the sold listings to see what has sold in the last 90 days. There you see it, 47 have sold in the last 90 days. So when there's 115 listed and 47 have sold in the last 90 days, that's not a great sell-through rate, but it's not too bad. Let's take a look and see how much some of these Wellington Balboa lighters are selling for. So we have it set up to show the most expensive ones that have sold first. This John Deere one sold for $149.99. That had the original box and some nice glossy photos. Here's a huge lot of vintage 24 lighters. This one sold for $99.99. It appears that there are some of those Wellington lighters in this lot, but there's others as well. Here's a nice one that sold for $95. This is a Chevrolet lighter by Wellington. So Wellington Balboa, $69.99 for that one. It looks like there's two of them in that one, in that lot. Here's another one that sold for $70. Again, it has that same buyer, same seller rather, with the green accents around it to catch your eye. This one took a best offer. It had it listed for $59.99. That one is kind of very similar to the one that I have, sold for $59.99, best offer accepted. There's a lot of 3 for $45. Again, $49.99 for that one. $44.50, they accepted a best offer. $39.99, very similar to the one that I have. So just a reminder, I paid $22.81 for all this stuff. That includes the shipping rate. So for this lighter, those lighters to be worth that kind of money, I think I'll definitely make my money back and then some. This lighter does appear to be incomplete. It doesn't appear to be working, but even as a collectible, I think we could easily ask $29.99. I'd feel comfortable at that price point, and that would put us in the profit already. So again, when one item can put you in the profit right away, and then everything else we're going to list, probably start with this stuff right here. We're looking at $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70 worth of merchandise right there, plus whatever we decide to list out of this. If we want to spend the time to untangle the rest of this and get that listed, that could be some decent money. All these tie tacks and buttons and other stuff, the coins, those would be all potential profit. But we're looking at potentially $70 in profit off of this one lot. So I think the lighter was cool, but probably my favorite item out of this lot was the ring of the two hands with the jewel. I think that was pretty unique. I think someone will definitely buy that. We'll have to see if any of those are online and what they're going for, but I think I could easily ask a decent amount of money for that. So I'm probably going to start with these 4 items, get these listed right away. The lighter, the US pins there, the military button, if that's legit, that could be worth a decent amount of money, and then this cool ring I was telling you about. Look at those hands. Someone will definitely pick that up. It kind of has that gothic feel to it. It's definitely a unique little piece. Not sure what I'm going to ask for that. What about you? Do you guys think that any of these items were worth the purchase price? What was your favorite item in this lot? Was there one that caught your eye? Is there one that I'm overlooking that might be worth more money than I realize? I think that necklace easily could be worth a decent amount of money if I want to put the time into untangling it. But I'm not sure. When time is money, you know, you don't want to waste your time too much. I already spent some time untangling it to get this video done. I don't know how much more time I want to put into it. I definitely want to put some money, some effort into listing the items that I know I can get the money from back quick. That lighter would probably be at the top of the list. So when you're doing online arbitrage like this, that's the name of the game. You want to maximize your time. The less time I can put into listing these items, the better. If I can list them quick, like those rings, that lighter, those military pins, get that stuff online and hopefully get some of it sold to get my investment back, then anything else I list after that is pure profit. So here's one last look at it. I thought I'd give you guys one last look at it. Let's get a little closer so you can see everything. Get a good view of everything we got here for the $20 plus change. I think it was $22.81 is what I said. definitely an interesting lot. So what do you guys think? Was that one worth my time? Was that worth my effort? Was that worth the money? I guess only time will tell. We'll have to get that stuff listed, and I'll give you an update once some of this stuff starts to sell. Please take a second to subscribe to my channel if you like this type of online arbitrage and you like to see me pick up these junk drawer lots and list them into my store and then give you updates. You can follow my daily vlogs. I do daily vlogs about my business, a little bit about everything I'm listing in the day, and the sales, so you can see what stuff is selling for. When that lighter sells, I'm gonna let you guys know. So you'll want to follow that daily vlog. Again, I'm Brian Kingsbury on YouTube. Hit that subscription button, ring that notification bell, and hopefully you'll come back for some more online arbitrage. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Good morning and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Kingsbury. Today is Wednesday, January 3rd. I've been busy today, got a new vlog up. Been busy putting out daily vlogs all this week, so there's plenty for you to watch. Yesterday's vlog, we had quite a few sales out of my stores. I run 2 eBay stores. For those of you that don't know, I'm a full-time reseller and freelance photographer. I like to put my efforts out online so that you guys can benefit from some of my knowledge over the years. Like I said, I have 2 eBay stores, one with over 4,000 items and the other just shy of 2,000. I'm also a freelance photographer. A few years back I sold my studio and moved my store home, moved the 2 eBay stores back home. Everything's at home now, and I'm doing freelance work on the side when it comes my way. Yesterday we had a good day of sales overnight. We woke up to over $100 in sales out of the big store. Let's see what we have going on this morning. Looks like this morning is another great day of sales. Looks like we have 5 sales for $179.72. Wow, 5 sales for $179.72. There you see it. What a way to wake up. $179.72. Let's take a look and see what sold. First item sold for $15.99. It's a reversible jacket coat, zip up woman's large black and tan fleece. Cafe Olé is the name of the brand. Let's give you a look. There's the black side you see there, and there's the tan side. There's the collar, some of the highlights, double pockets it looks like. Cafe Olé, I don't know the brand, but was good enough to sell this one. Tag looks like it had a little wash wear, but otherwise the jacket looks to be in tip-top condition. $15.99 out the door. One thing I always like to keep a lookout for at the thrift shop are reversible jackets. So basically you get 2 jackets in one, right? A lot of people like to buy those. For the versatility, you can wear either side, you know, with different outfits and whatnot. They really enjoy reversible jackets, so it's a good niche to get into. The second item that sold for $108.99. It's a vintage Columbia one-piece ski suit. Blue, black, and red, size medium, keyword skiing. Let's take a better look at these vintage ski suits often do well. This has the red highlights, as you can see around the collar there. Columbia, always a good brand. People know that and they search for it. Has the highlights at the bottom with the elastic around the ankles, and there's a look at the back of it. Has that waist tie. This one was vintage, an older style. People do search for those, they like those. If you can find these in neon colors, they often sell very well, but this one was just your standard blue. Yeah, like I was saying, in that skiing category, those vintage neon jackets from the 80s, those are hot right now. Those always sell. Anything 80s right now is hot. People are still searching and buying for that vintage stuff. It's kind of new to the vintage market. Anything over 20 years old, but 80s and 90s is really hot right now. Third item to sell sold for the $12.95. It was this. It's a winter beanie hat, skull cap, one size fits all. Claire's Seal white acrylic. So as you can see, I got all those keywords in there. It's supposed to look like a little seal, I guess. There's the back of it. There's that happy little seal face with the sequins and looks like a little smiling seal. And of course the Claire's inside tag that says it's 100% acrylic. So that's just another one of those fun little beanie caps. You can find those often really cheap at the thrift shop. If you go searching through the hat section, especially during the summertime, you can find those themed animal hats. People like to buy those, especially during the winter time. One hint, you might want to buy those up in the summertime and hold on to them for a season or two and get them listed in the winter, and you should turn those into great profits. As you can see, not a huge sale price, $12.95, but when you're considering you're buying it for $1 and shipping would be pretty cheap, you can send it ground advantage. Probably weighs less than 3 ounces once you put it in an envelope. You're not going to be paying too much in shipping for it, maybe $4 or $5. So you're looking at $6 all in, and $12.95 was the purchase price. Take out eBay fees, you're looking at $5 to $10 profit. Fourth item to sell, sold for $31.85. It's a brand new M&M's Holiday Collectible Christmas Nutcracker Candy Dispenser. Has the yellow M&M keyword, yellow keyword holiday. Let's get a better look at this. I bought this during the Christmas season. There he is, the yellow peanut M&M. Did a little research while I was at the thrift shop and found that these sell pretty good. They have a pretty good sell-through rate. This one was brand new in the box, and I was looking for some Christmas stuff to sell over the Christmas holiday, and picked it up. I think I paid about $5, maybe $5 to $7. I want to say $5 for this. So for it to sell for that amount was quite a score. Little Christmas holiday M&M's Nutcracker. Don't overlook that one. New in box. If you can pick those up at a reasonable rate, they're definitely worth picking up. Fifth item to sell, sold for $9.94. This was a recent listing. Listed this just January 1st. It's a Sony PlayStation Hits PS4 The Last of Us Remastered video game box. No disc. So I put that in there in several places. They should know it's just for the box. Took a picture of the front, there's the inside, no disc, and there's the back photo. Decided to go ahead and list these boxes, see if I could sell some of them, recoup my losses. I got those boxes in a storage unit buyout. Bought a storage unit, had a bunch of video games. Some of them didn't have the discs in the box, so I decided to just list the box without the disc and see if I could move those on. Maybe to somebody who had the disc and was looking for the box and the art to go with it. So I listed quite a few of those, had a couple of them sell already. Just listed those, finished up on January 1st rather, the first of the year, and now I've had 2 of those sell already. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but instead of just donating them back to the thrift shop, I might as well list them for $10, right, and make a sale. They probably weigh like 3 ounces, will probably cost $4 or $5 to ship. So if you're making 10, you're making about $5 profit on those. So while I was telling you guys about those 5 orders, we had another one sneak in, brings the total up to 6 orders for $193.71 this morning. Let's take a look at that 6th and final order. 6th item to sell this morning, sold for $13.99. It's a Coco Lyman athletic sweats pants, black and white, love, women's small, size 25 waist by 30 inseam. So here's a look at them. There it says love across the back, is why I added that keyword in there. Coco Lyman, I don't know this brand, I'm not really that familiar, but a nice looking design. The black and gray colorway, size small. Not an ideal small for size for resale, but this one got a sale. There it is. The love on the rear there, cotton polyester blend, Coco Lyman. Definitely a good little sale for $13.99 out the door. So there you have it, 6 sales for $193.71. I'm gonna go grab those 6 items from my inventory and get them ready to put some shipping labels on them. Alright, there they are. Through the magic of video, 6 orders ready to be shipped, ready to get some shipping labels and be sent out to the customer. I think this Nutcracker is the only one I need to wrap up. I need to find something to wrap that one up and secure it so that it's ready to travel to wherever it's going. So we're gonna get some shipping labels on those and get them ready for the customer. Here comes those shipping labels. Let's get them. Let's get them on those packages. Gotta get these ready for the customer. Alright, there you go. We got a nice tote going. All those orders packed up and ready for the post office. Now that we got those orders packed up, I thought I would take you guys into the photo station and show you what we'll be photographing to get listed next. Let's take a look. So for those of you who watched yesterday's video, you guys know that I bought a junk drawer lot online with hopes to list the stuff in my store, flip it for some profit. Let me show you what that looked like. There it is. There's the last remnants of the junk drawer lot. Looks like I paid $35.73. There's some good stuff left over. We'll get to that stuff, but let's see what we'll be listing today. So I pulled 3 items from that junk drawer lot that I'm going to be listing today, hopefully to get my profits back and then some. Let me give you guys a look at those. Here's the first item. It's a Lux Pro thermostat model PSP 511C. If you look this up, it's worth I think about $30. So we're gonna get that listed, and that'll be the profits return, most of them. This was also in the lot. This is a Yellowstone $2 bill, Yellowstone National Park. This is legal tender. We looked it up yesterday. Not a great sell-through rate, but they are selling for about $15 online, so we're gonna get that listed, try to get market value for that. So we're looking at 30, maybe 35 for this one, and the 15 for this one. The third item we're gonna post up is this Dale Earnhardt calendar, a 16-month calendar, wooden desk frame calendar, has Earnhardt and all those race car photos and whatnot. It's brand new, sealed, has a price tag of $8.99 on the back, US. So I'm gonna list that for $8.99 plus shipping. Hope to get that amount from that. So that will be our investment back, and then everything else we list will be profit. So there's 3 items we're going to get photographed and listed today. Let's take a look at a few more. I have this green tote here. I'm looking to expand my media section, so I'm going to put the media in that. Here's a few media items I pulled to get started with. This is a Golden Christmas. Probably should have listed this for Christmas, but I didn't realize I had it. Golden Christmas, A Tale of Puppy Love. Has those beautiful little puppies on there. Some sort of Christmas movie about dogs or whatnot. So that's brand new, sealed. We're gonna get that one listed. Here we go. Probably not your favorite guy at the time, considering all the controversy, but still a good movie. Jaden and Will Smith in this, After Earth. Not a bad movie. Saw that on TV recently. Here's another one. Tom Cruise, Valkyrie. So we got Tom Cruise. We got Will Smith. What else do we have? Here we go. We got Empire. What is his name? What is his name? I couldn't remember his name, but of course his name is Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson. They star in that Empire. I think that's that series put out by 50 Cent. Pretty good series. I've seen a few episodes. So we'll get that one listed as well. I haven't bought a lot of clothing items recently, but I do have one that made it through the wash. It had a little stain on the front. Didn't entirely come out, unfortunately. It still is showing a little bit, but it's a nice Nike Golf polo shirt. Let me give you guys a look. Here it is, Nike Golf, standard fit, dry fit polo shirt, size XXL. If you look right here, where is it at? It might be a little bit below. There was a little bit of a stain here. I treated it. Something looks like they spilled some ice cream or something down, but it's like a little stain right here. It didn't entirely wash out, but I mean, you can barely see it. So I think I'm gonna list it up, mention that little stain, and hopefully someone will still buy it. Sometimes I'll take a chance on an item with stains on it because I think I can get it out. Doesn't always work, as you can see, but usually if you buy the item cheap enough, they price it at the thrift store accordingly. Picked that one up for a couple bucks, tried to get that stain out, didn't come out, but still probably can list that for $14.99 and make a little profit. Somebody will be willing to buy it with a little faint stain on it. It is a 2XL Nike Dry Fit Golf polo shirt, so those typically go for $20 to $25 online. So when you're listing it far below market value, somebody will take a chance on it, you know. Who knows, they might have some better chemicals and can get that stain out themselves. Finally, we have some shoe items. We got a pair of cleats here. I'm gonna try to get these listed. So I've been waiting for a larger item to sell, that Columbia jumpsuit, that snowsuit. That one sold and that shipped in that flat rate box. So that gives me space to add another item to the flat rate box section, and I'm going to put those cleats in a flat rate box. and get those listed. I know I paid up for those cleats. I think I paid $7.99 for them, I believe, and they're going somewhere between $30 and $40. So I'm gonna get those listed, priced accordingly, get them up in the store, and hopefully make a quick sale on those. Here's a better look at them there. That white, blue, and black colorway has the swoosh on the heel there as well as on the front toe. I was gonna clean them up a little bit. They have a little bit of wear from use, but as you can see, the bottom cleats are nice and clean, pretty clean. Have probably only been worn one season, I would guess. They are a larger size. I think they're size 15 if I remember correctly, maybe 13, but a larger size. They'll fit in that medium flat rate box and be perfect, shipped to the customer nice and safe. So I grabbed a couple more shoe items off of the shelf out in the garage. I've got a few shoes out there from storage unit that I've been waiting to list. I have some room in my store to list some more shoes, so I got a couple more pair that I grabbed. A couple women's shoes. Let me give you guys a look at those. So here's the first pair. A nice soft SOFT, I guess is the brand of these. They look to be a nice leather, kind of a slide type shoe. They got a little heel on them, but you just slide right in those. The soles are pretty clean, have a little floral design, and it has that faux fur around the edges here with the buckle. So a nice pair of shoes. I'll have to do some comps on those, see what they're going for, price them accordingly. Here's the other pair. This is kind of a fashion type with a bow on the front. It's called Wild Diva lounge shoes, I think. Size 8, black and white, pretty simple shoe. Yeah, size 8. Soles are alright, no flaws really, but those will be cheap. Price those probably $19.99 or less. We'll have to see what those are going for. I usually just search based on what they're listed for. Yeah, like I was saying, with shoes like that, I'll usually just search to see what's out there on the market, what they're priced at, what the lowest rate is and what the highest rate is, and price accordingly. Obviously there's not a demand for that type of brand. It's not a highly sought after brand, so you're gonna have to price at the low end of the market probably if you want to get a quick sale. Those are the type of shoes that will sit in your store for a while. Not ideal, but if you get them out of a storage unit, you got to get your money back, and once you get a storage unit, you typically make your money back quick, and then everything else you list after that is just pure profit. So that's what we're dealing with now. We got all kinds of shoes to list, and those were just 2 pairs I grabbed off of the shelf that were available to me. So we'll get that stuff photographed and start listing away. Alright, as you can see, I got everything photographed here. I have these DVDs here, the 3 items from the junk drawer lot, the thermostat, the $2 bill, and the Dale Earnhardt. The 3 pair of shoes, and then that Nike Dry Fit polo shirt over there. So while I was taking those photos, I decided to go ahead and do one more item from that junk drawer lot. I pulled the 5 spoons. There was a set of 5 spoons, decorative spoons, that I thought would be a quick, easy list. Let me show you those. So I got these photographed as well. Not sure if you can see it, but they all have some sort of decorative design on the part right here. It's some sort of battle. Historic battle, and then they have a decoration on the handle as well. The back side says something. I'll have to look a little bit closer and see what it says there. Probably the brand of the spoon, I'd imagine. Hopefully it says that. I'm not sure. They might be sterling silver. That probably is what it says. I'll have to get my scope out and take a closer look. I doubt they are, but gonna get these listed next too. So for those of you returned to this video because you saw yesterday's video and enjoyed that retail arbitrage junk drawer lot opening, that box opening, and saw all the goodies I found, that thermostat, that $2 bill, I got another one that I'm gonna do today. Actually 2 more. I bought 2 more junk drawer lots. I have them sitting here, but what I think I'm gonna do is put those in separate videos. One junk drawer lot came from Glendale, Arizona, the other one from Salem, Oregon. So a couple different areas. I have them sitting here, and I'm gonna do 2 separate videos. Retail arbitrage is what you call it, where you go online, you find something that you think you can flip for profit. That's what I'm hoping to do, find enough profit in there to make my investment back, and then everything else that I list is pure profit. I know I got a couple good units. I did a little research on them, so let let me give you a quick look at what they'll be in those videos. Here's a look at one of those lots. I think this is the Oregon lot, titled Junk Drawer Lot, Jewelry, Coins, Tokens, Pinbacks, and Buttons. This one came from Herald Estate Finds. Let's supersize this photo, give you guys a better look at it. So there you see it. If we can scroll through these and give you a closer look, there was one item that particularly caught my eye. Let's see, there's a pocket knife there. Looks like a nickel. So these are all smalls, some buttons and cufflinks, little jewelry it looks like, some little scissors, little shears. There was one item in here that did make it worth my while. A little car there, a little purple car. There it is. That was the item. This little lighter is worth quite a bit of money. If you search Balboa lighters, this one says have tubes will travel. Norman's TV. It's a little lighter. We'll have to get in there and see what it looks like. There was also some military buttons. Those can do quite well. A ring. So all kinds of stuff in this one worth some money. So that's the first of the junk drawer lots that I got. Paid $15 plus $6 shipping for that one. So we're looking at $21 plus shipping plus taxes on that one. But that lighter is the big score in that one. You'll have to watch that video to find out how much that lighter is worth. So once you're done watching this one, be sure to go check out my other videos and watch that one as well. If you're not interested in that one, then you'll want to check out this one. This one sold for $32.20. I bought that for $32.20. Let's take a closer look at what I got in here. There's a big photo of all of it. Looks like some watches in there. Let's go scroll through these photos and take a look at what caught my eye. As you can see, there's some coins, there's some watches, some more spoons in this one as well. These junk drawers usually have that similar thing. One thing I noticed in this one, if you look in the back there, there's a 1953 Ford owner's manual. That is one thing that I did look up and got the price on. Let's continue to keep a look through these photos. Oh, here's a better look at it. You can see all those coins. Have yet to do the research on those coins, but I will look into it and figure out what everything is worth. Those two watches, I believe they did work. I did ask them about that, and they said they're ticking, so we'll have to double check that. Some jewelry. Looks like they forgot to rotate this photo, so it's a little bit on its side. Apologize for that. But lots of jewelry, lots of trinkets. Not sure how much of that stuff I'm going to list. I'm probably going to list the easy stuff. Definitely that Ford owner's manual. There's a medal there, a military medal. Those do quite well. Those watches are probably worth a decent amount of money as well. This one is in really good focus. Some of their photos were a little bit out of focus. There's a little pack of batteries there. Brand new watch batteries. So maybe you could include those with the watches if one of those is missing the battery. Or just put it in yourself and get it working. We'll see. I'm not sure how much work I want to do with all this. Definitely want to make my money back and then some. There's a coin book as well underneath all that, so we'll have to get some more detail on this. There might be some finds I'm not seeing here in the photos. That one I paid $32.20 for. The one before from Arizona with the lighter in it, I paid $22.81. So if you want to check those out, there will be some separate videos I'm going to be posting shortly to my channel. You can go on there and get details on all the stuff as I open it up. Take a look, take a little bit of a closer look at that lighter and give you some exact details on what kind of value I expect to get out of it. Alright, time to take a little break, have a little bit of lunch. I'm watching this Theo Vaughn podcast with Sean Strickland. Quite a character. Got those DVDs listed. This is my new DVD tote. I'm going to try to get this thing filled up. Like I've said in previous videos, I got a back stock of DVDs, trying to get through them, try to get some of that stuff listed. I've got a bunch listed already, but want to expand that section so that I can take advantage of the full profit since I had that money invested already. I got a section here, let me show you. I probably started listing DVDs about 6 months ago, and I have these two little shelving units, filled those up. Since then I've added this two totes here. I've got these two totes filled up, and then I added that big tote outside, so the DVD and Blu-rays and video games. Some of the smaller stuff is listed in these envelopes here. So I'm not convinced that's the best inventory system for DVDs, but it's currently the one that I have. I could switch to those other totes eventually, have those stackable totes somewhere where I can get into them when one of them sells. But it is kind of nice to have them here on the shelf and just pull one when it sells. Makes it easy if you have a small section like that, a small DVD section. But as it grows, I think things will become more complicated the more DVDs you start listing. I think I have over close to 700 now listed, so it's getting up there. Those numbers are starting to get up there, and they sell regularly, not a big quick sell-through rate. I've got them priced a little bit high, some of them, so I might have to go through and adjust those prices. I'm going to do the junk drawer lot items next. The Dale Jr. or Dale Earnhardt calendar, the $2 bill, and the thermostat. Those will be the next listings. I'll give you guys an update once I get those on. Alright, I just finished listed the first 3 items from the junk drawer lot that I purchased for $35.73. I got 3 items up from that lot. Let me give you guys a look at them. Here's the first 3 items that I got listed from that lot. This one here, this thermostat, listed that for $49.99. They sell quite well. I think there's 7 listed and over 40 have sold in the last 90 days, so great sell-through rate. This Dale Earnhardt Jr. is not a great sell-through rate, but I listed that for $8.97 brand new. And then this $2 bill, I listed that for $24.99. Those sell pretty well as well. So just 3 items, that's $83.95. Again, I paid $35.97 total. That includes shipping for the lot. And the first 3 items, $83.95, so there's quite a markup already. I'm gonna get some more items listed out of that lot. I got these commemorative spoons here. I'm gonna get those listed as well, probably list those for $19.99. Obviously all that stuff has to sell before we're in the profits, but I think some of it has a decent sell-through rate. That thermostat was the reason I bought it. Those sell pretty quick, so I'm hoping that one will get a sale real quick, and then some of this other stuff will start selling and we'll be in the profit. There it is, another listing from that junk drawer lot. Listed those for $24.97. They suggested a $25 list price, so I put them up for $24.97. Those are the W.M. Rogers Manufacturing Presidential Silver plated spoons. There's a set of 5. They have the battles on them, as well as the president's face from the battle, the era in which they had those battles. So that's something a little different. I've never listed spoons like that. Those were presidential spoons, silver plated. I had to do a little research to figure out exactly what they were, but hopefully that will lead to a sale. There's not a lot of them online, so hopefully that some collector will find those and want those. Like I said, they have the kind of etching of the battle in which the different battles that occurred during the president's reign, their term of service. And on the handle was a different president from each of the 5 spoons. So kind of a cool little piece. Came in that junk drawer lot. Didn't really know much about it, so learning as we go along. A new niche to explore, spoons. So all we have left out of what we photographed are these 1, 2, 3, 4 items. I know a lot about these shoes and polo shirts. I've done plenty of those over time, so I'll get those listed next. Alright, as you can see there, I just finished all the listings I had planned for today. Those are the last 3 pair of shoes. Got them all listed today. And good news, we had 3 more orders come into the big store. Let me give you guys a look. There you see it, a pretty healthy sales day today. 3 more sales for $84.40 on top of what we sold earlier today. It's about 9 o'clock now, the typical time I like to end these videos. So I think I'm going to invite you guys to come back tomorrow. I'll show you those 3 sales. I'll show you what sales overnight, and we can recap everything and get started on a fresh day tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for watching today. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscription button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so any help you can give me is greatly appreciated. Also trying to reach that 4,000 hours of watch time. So if you have time, please come back and watch a few videos. Trying to get to 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers so I can monetize my channel. Haven't got it monetized yet, but I've been working on it the last year, and plan to hope to get it monetized in the upcoming year. 2024 is my year to do that. It's going to take a little bit of work, about 1/4 of the way there, so I need to get those subscribers out. If you can help me out, hit that subscription button and start watching a few videos. Make it a daily thing. I put out daily vlogs. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel, so there's plenty to watch. Please come back tomorrow and I'll show you what sold. See you on the next one. Bye.
The first time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes, and the moon and stars. What a kiss you gave to the dark and endless skies. The first time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes, and the moon and stars. What a kiss you gave to the dark and endless sky.
Welcome back to another segment of online arbitrage. This is where I buy items online and relist it into my eBay stores for profit. Let's see what we bought today. Here's the unit I won online. I bought this one for $32.20. Had all kinds of fun items in it, coins and watches and a Ford owner's manual. Let me give you guys a look at these photos. It was all kind of not a lot of close-up photos, which that's probably the closest photo they gave you. Probably didn't benefit their listing very much that they didn't have close-ups. But you got to see it all, and you gotta kind of figure what everything is worth. So we're gonna dig into it. We're gonna open it up. Here's how it showed up at my front door. A nice envelope, a little duct tape on there to make sure nothing bust open. So this envelope is pretty jam-packed full. Nice heavy little envelope full of stuff. $32.20. We're gonna open this up and see what we got. Alright, let's get into this envelope and see how they packed this up for us. Looks like they did put a healthy amount of duct tape on the end there, but that's not going to prevent us. We got scissors, right? So we're going to get this cut open. Maybe. The duct tape is thick. Sometimes when you gotta get in these things, you gotta be careful you're not cutting the valuable stuff on the inside there. It has happened to me in the past where you accidentally cut a shirt when you're opening the package and end up with a shirt with a hole in it. So gotta be careful sometimes. Luckily there's no shirts in this one. It is all kinds of other goodies though. Okay, I think we're in. Here we are. I think I'm just gonna slide everything out onto the table and then we'll go through it one item at a time. So they put a lot of bubble wrap on this stuff. It's definitely packed up nice. Alright. Cellophane. Alright. Here you see it, $32.20. Alright, when you got it all out here, it's basically 4 different items. They got it packed into 1, 2, 3, and then this larger one here with an array of stuff in it. And there's one little loose packet here. Here's that Ford owner's manual. They threw that in there kind of loose. I know these sell for about $15. I think I looked this up and I knew that this would probably pay for half of it. So just one item paying for half of the purchase price, that's a pretty good deal. We're gonna dig into these coins first. I think that's the one that's calling to me. So let's get into these and see what these are all about. Alright, that was a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but we have 3 items that came out of that first pack. This is the first one, a set of batteries. These look to be alkaline button cell batteries. These are typically what go in a watch or something like that, so that's good. I know we got a couple watches in this unit, so if we need one, we have one. Also, a couple coins in here. Here's what we got. I have to look at it in a little more detail with the scope to see what this is, but a kind of a rare coin, and there's 2 of them, and America's First Metals, that's what they put them in, so maybe they're metals, not coins. So we'll have to do a little research, see what these are all about, but a good start to this unit. Alright, those first 2 look to be metals. I thought they were coins, but some sort of metal. We looked at them at a little more detail, but I wasn't quite sure what they are, so I might have to do a Google image search. But we're going to get into another one. It looks to be a similar type of packaging. We'll get this. This one's a little easier to break into. Let's see. What do we have in here? Looks to be some sort of military metal. There it is. Came with this. It says, it's a little photo. It says cute, isn't it? So I don't know what that photo is, but they obviously thought it was cute. And $50, so it's a $50, I think it says. 1996 Liberty $50. 1996 Liberty $50. So we got a Liberty $50. We'll have to look that up and see what that's worth. So I think I might have said 1996. It was a 1986 Liberty $50. Look those up. There's currently 1,400 listed, and 774 have sold in the last 90 days. So not a bad sell-through rate on those. We'll have to see which one we actually have, and compare it to what it's selling for online. I can give you a quick look at what some of them are selling for, though. Let's take a look. Here's a look at some of the items that have ended recently for 86 Liberty $50. $37 for that set of 2. $1.25. $15.50. That looks like a set of 2 again. $15.50. $6.50. $11.32. $5.50. $75, $5.49, $6, $19.99 for 2. That one looks to be almost exactly what I have there, $7.99. So maybe that's kind of the market price. So just based on that information, I'd say it's probably worth $5 to $10. Not a big money item, but they do sell. As you can see, 774 have sold in the last 90 days. So we get that one listed, it'll probably sell eventually. Alright, we got one smaller item here. Looks to be a bracelet. We'll get this one open and then we'll dive into the big stuff. Again, this was all part of this unit, $32 unit, $32.20. That included the shipping, so not a bad purchase price. Let's dig into this one and see what this bracelet looks like. Alright, there it is. We got it open. Nice little bracelet. Looks to be kind of silver and black design. Is that like a leaf design? Let's see. It opens like so, and kind of has that spring to it. So I don't know. Nice little women's bracelet, little decoration, spring loaded. Not sure what that would be worth, but a little cosmetic piece here. We could probably give 5 to 10, I would say, for this one as well. So it's all adding up. Let's get into the big one, shall we? So this is one of those nice bubble mailer. Has adhesive on this side that you just fold over. So I think I'm going to open this carefully because we can reuse this as a packing material in the future. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a full-time reseller. I have 2 eBay stores, one with about over 4,000 items and one just short of 2,000 items. I keep new items going in them daily, and I have a daily vlog that I share with people to let you know what's selling, what's new going up. I'm doing these videos just to kind of get some fresh new inventory, try to list in some different categories, and make some YouTube content, some fun content for you guys to enjoy. So if you haven't yet, please hit that subscription button. It would be nice for you to join my little journey online, my little YouTube journey, and come back and watch some more of these. We're going to do them regularly, so there will be plenty for you to watch in the future, but let's get into this and see what is in this lot. So we have some more cellophane packaging inside of this bubble wrap mailer, this appears to be some sort of playing cards, but there's also something else in here, so I'm going to get this unwrapped and I'll give you guys a look. Alright, we got these playing cards out. Vintage playing cards can be worth some money, so we'll have to look at these, see what they look like. I guess we can do that now. Give you guys a look at them. They look to be some sort of Riverside Resort, so some sort of casino branded cards. Probably not worth too much, couple bucks for a set of playing cards, I'd imagine, maybe $5 tops. The vintage ones are the ones that are worth some decent money, but we'll look that up just to be sure. Playing cards, we could probably get a few bucks for them though. Alright, the other item that was in that pack was in this little baggie here. It appears to be some sort of glass top to maybe some sort of trinket that's in there, a little box of some sort, a jewelry box maybe. Try not to make too much noise, open this. But maybe it's some sort of art display, I don't know. What do you guys think? Looks to be the top to something, but there it is. Let's continue. Maybe we'll find the missing puzzle piece to this mystery piece of glass here. Alright, we got the mailer emptied out. 2 more cellophane packages here. So I must say they did pack this up really nice. Traveled to me in great condition so far. Nothing appears to be broken. We're going to get into this to make sure of that. But let's open it up and see what we have in these. Alright, I must say, this one kind of has me a little excited. It feels like a bag full of gold. I know it's not, but it kind of feels that way. It kind of looks that way. Lots of shiny, silvery, gold items in this little baggie. So I think what best bet would be to just dump it out here on the table. Then we can go through it one at a time and see if we have any real scores in this unit. Alright, we have it here on the table. I'll give you guys a look at it from up top. It is kind of delicate stuff. Feels like it could get tangled up. Jewelry often does get all tangled up, so I'm going to try to avoid that. But let's take a look at it from as we placed it on the table. So here's a look at it from up top. Put it all out there and spread it out a little bit. We have the 2 pins here, kind of the breast cancer awareness pins, made in China. Probably not a lot of value to those, but you could lot up a bunch of pins. This was another piece that kind of caught my eye. Let me give you guys a closer look at that, if we can get that to focus in. It looks to be 3 little angels of some sort. Not sure if the value of that is anything significant, but a nice little pin nonetheless. Maybe $5 to $10 you could ask for something like that. Alright, so we're going to get into this and look a little deeper into this unit of goodies. This appears to be some sort of necklace with a brooch on the end, a little design on there. Not sure if you can see that. What do you guys see there? Let me take a look at it. So that appears to be some sort of floral design to me. I looked at it a little bit closer. It's a nice looking piece of jewelry, probably well made, and probably worth 10 to 20 I would say for this piece. Alright, here's the clickbait. We found gold. We found gold. I don't know. I don't think this is gold, but we'll have to take a closer look at some of these pieces. Some of it might be gold slipping through here. I don't know. It looks pretty good. Here's a nice little piece. Not sure if you guys can see that, but it says Special Grandma. Special Grandma on there, a little gold pin. There's the backing of it. Nice little tiny gold pin. You could wear that on your lapel. Probably worth a decent amount of money. Little cross design on the front there. There were a couple more little pins in here. Here's a little floral pin. Again, probably worth $5 to $10. Not too much money here. And here's one with the black stones. Very similar. Another little pin for your lapel. So they're adding up. $5 a pop. There's a decent amount of jewelry in here if you want to bother listing it all. So luckily for me, I have a jeweler in the family. My mom worked in the business for several years, is retired now, but still stays active in it, volunteering at a thrift shop. She does all the jewelry for their shop there, and I often bring some jewelry to her just to have her check it out. She can spot gold much quicker than I can. So we have some here. I might just bring it to her and see what she says about it. She has good knowledge on what custom jewelry goes for, what is worth listing and what is worth moving on in other ways, or just donating back to the thrift. I oftentimes donate some stuff to her thrift shop. So here's the rest of it. Like I said, it does tend to get tangled up when you have all those chains and whatnot. There's a little heart here on the end of a chain. That's a kind of a nice piece. A couple of earrings up here. Appears to be some Halloween themed. A little ghost on that one there. And some stars here. This is a little pearl set. I couldn't see the other one, but it might be in here somewhere. I'm not going to spend too much time sorting through this. I might just bring this over to Mom and let her go through it. I know that's kind of a her thing. She likes to get a bunch of jewelry, go through it, see if there's any gems in the mix. So we'll give her that opportunity maybe. I'm going to pull a few items, of course, that I'll be listing in my store to make my money back. We want to get into the profit real quick as soon as we can with this. But with those medals and coins that we've already found, and playing cards and the bracelet, we got a good head start on profits already. Alright, here's a little look at what we got into so far. Like I said, this owner's manual was probably worth about $15. This was that coin I told you about, that 1986 silver coin. Let's see, Liberty half dollar. There it is. That one sold for probably $10. We had those extra batteries. That might be coming in handy because we have a couple watches still here coming. This mystery piece of glass, not sure what that goes to. And these were those two medals that we'll have to look up a little more. We got the playing cards, and then all this jewelry here that we'll bring to Mom and see what she thinks we should do with it. If it's donatable, or maybe there's actually a little piece of gold or silver in this mix. I don't know. We'll have to go through in a little more detail and take a good look at it under a scope. So we're not done yet. We got one more package to go through. This little cellophane, this is the last one. I think this has a couple watches in it if I'm not mistaken. What I want you guys to do at the end of this video, watch to the very end and then let me know what your favorite item is. Let me know if I missed anything, if there's some value in here. I want this to be a learning experience for me. I don't really sell a lot of jewelry, so I don't have vast knowledge of it, just a little bit. But if you see something here you know is worth a lot of money, put it in the comments. Hey, Brian, look that one up, and I'll do the research and hopefully learn something from this. That's kind of the goal of doing these, is to learn a little bit, gain a little bit of knowledge that I can share with you guys and keep in my reseller banks for the future. Alright, we got through the cellophane and we found another one of these nice handy dandy little bubble mailers. These are perfect for shipping stuff in, so I'm going to save this one for my shipments. But let's get into this and pour it out on the table and see what we got in this one. Alright, we got into it. Looks like we have a coin here, a couple spoons here, another coin here, but in this baggie there's a couple watches. So let's pour these out and see what else we have in this little baggie here. Looks to be a couple nice watches. That might be where the money is, and another coin in the baggie. I mean, in the cardboard. There it is. Let's take a look at these in a little bit more detail, shall we? Alright, the first coin we pulled was this. It looks to be a Polish, what do you call it, gross with a Z. Gross with a Z. Let's see if we can get this to focus a little better. There we go. You can see it. It has all the Polish flag on there and all that good stuff. I'll have to look this up and see what it goes for. It is packed nice and neat, so we can just easily list it and sell it for whatever it's worth. A nice little touristy type of thing, probably worth $5, I'd imagine. The other item is this, the other coin. It says Numis, I think, on it. It appears to be a quarter in there. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see. And right here where it says Numis, there may be some additional writing, but as you can see, it's a kind of a mirrored reflection there. It's hard to read it, but if you look at that, you can see it almost looks like a quarter. It looks like almost a smashed quarter. I don't know. We'll have to look at it a little bit closer, maybe get the scope out and see what it is. So they also had these spoons in there. They said Towel, T-O-W-L-E, Towley. So that might be the brand, I don't know. They look to be like little infant spoons, baby spoons or something like that. They're really small, maybe teaspoons. I don't know what you would use these for, but 3 little small spoons. So we'll look that up. Towley, T-O-W-L-E. Let's look it up. So apparently that's a pretty well-known brand of spoon. I searched Towley spoon and there's 14,000 listed and 1,900 sold. So there's a lot of them that are sterling silver. I don't know if these are, but they appear to be pretty well made, well constructed. We'll have to do a little bit of research. You see the tarnish on them, which looks similar to what happens to silver. So I don't know, I'll have to check with Mom. She has more knowledge on that sort of thing. Like I said, I'm learning as I go. I'm not a flatware expert in any means. I've never really sold much of it, but I know that some of it is collectible, and if these have some age, maybe they're a pair of vintage Towley flatware spoons. Could be worth some decent money. Let me give you a look at what they're selling for regularly. So like I said, 1,900 have sold, 14,000 listed. Not a great sell-through rate, but there's some good money here. 25, 39, 59.95. This is for one spoon. Here's a set of 4 for $229, $99, $35, 70 or $17.66, $10, $8.99. So as you can see, when one item could pay for the entire lot, I mean, I paid $32 for this lot of this junk drawer lot, and just one set of spoons, a trio of spoons could pay for the entire unit. So that's promising. We'll have to see, narrow that search a little bit and see if I can find these exact spoons and see what they're going for. Might take a little time to figure that out, but that's promising to see some Towley spoons that could be worth as much as I paid for the unit. So you saw the spoons, but there were also a couple wristwatches in this. Let's turn those over and see what we got. So here's a look at the first one. It says Swiss Ralph is the brand that I read on there. 1486 is the model number that I could read on the back there. So I'm going to look this one up, Swiss Ralph, and see what the value is, see what these are going for, how many are online and how many are selling in the last 90 days. Let's take a look. Alright, we did a quick search of that. It looks like it's Swiss, S-U-I-S-S-E, Ralph, and we did a quick search and it said 49 listed, and I think there was only 9 sold, but it's also picking up Ralph Lauren watches, so it's a little bit of a tricky search to do online, but not a well-known brand. It doesn't look like there's a lot out there and not a lot sold, but it is a nice looking watch. Nonetheless, it's not working, probably needs a battery, but luckily we have some of these batteries, so we could just maybe include this along with it, or pop one of those in if we have the time to do that, and get that sucker running and pass that profit along to my pocketbook. But there was another watch, the gold one. Let's take a look at that one, shall we? Alright, here's the other watch. Also doesn't appear to be working, but it is a Louis Cardin. So I'm going to look that one up. This one is gold in color, not actually a gold watch, but with the black face there. A nice looking watch. Probably just needs a battery to get it going again, but let's look it up and see what kind of sell-through rate Louis Cardin has online. Alright, we did a quick search. Louis Cardin watch. It turned up 7 results. Here's quite a few of these up here, 7 of them, 22 for that one. Here's one that's similar for 40 they're asking, That one's a little bit more intricate. 119 they're asking for that one. 36 for that one. And then we have these down here. There's a bunch there. I'm not sure. 107 and 115, but that is different kind of models, it looks like. But this one is pretty interesting. 285 for this guy. None of them are gold in color like the one we have. But that's a nice looking watch right there, $285. That's probably what it is, brand new. Here's the actual website. Looks like they do all kinds of stuff. Colognes, perfumes, watches, pens, garments, oriental fragrance for her, fragrance for him, body mist, body spray, a little bit of everything, body lotion. Let's take a look at the watch section. Maybe we can figure out what ours is worth. So I had the scope out, I was looking for the model number, but I'm not finding one. I found the website here. They have all kinds of watches. It would be nice if we could get the model number. I do find one here that's very similar. Mine does appear to have some stones on the insides. It just says quartz movement and water resistant. So let me show you what I found. Here's a look at the one we have, and we found one very similar on the website. Let's take a look. So just eyeballing it, this one is very similar, the 9856F. It has the black face there and the gold coloring. So sometimes this is what you have to do. You have to put the time in to do the research. This one is round, stainless steel case with matte finish, analog display, pearl two-tone dial, 3 hands, Japanese movement, stainless steel band with butterfly buckle. That's what we have. Splash proof, timeless design combined with style, functionality, and high quality material. So it looks to be the similar or same watch. Let's click on it and see what that one is selling for. Alright, so I clicked on that link. Unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere. Just kind of took you, stayed on the same page. I did do an additional search of Lewis Cardon watches, but not finding any prices on anything. So we'll have to do a little bit more research, see what that thing is worth. You saw what they were going for online. There was a few of them up there on eBay, so we'll do some more research before we list that one. Alright, like I said, I was going to give you one last look at these items. I think we're going to call this an end to the video, but I want to thank everybody for watching. This is my attempt at online arbitrage, going online, buying a lot, and moving it back online to make some profits. Like I said, I paid $32 for this unit, and I think this is a pretty good unit. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I like a lot of the stuff that I found in them. Those watches were interesting. Have to do some research and maybe try to get them running and see what the value of those are. If anything, you know, they're probably $10 to $20 as non-running watches. But you get those things running and find out what they really go for, what they retail for. We could have some comparisons and some quality comps to put out there to the public and let them know, hey, these are this much brand new, here's what I'm asking. That always goes a long way. Let's give you guys one more look at everything we found, and again, I'm going to challenge you to leave a comment with your favorite item. What's your favorite item in this lot? Which one stood out to you? Which one you think I'm going to get the most money for? Which one should I list first to make my investment back? Is there one that will give me that $32 back right away? Or is it a number of items that I'll have to list in order to get that back and get into the profit? I know I'm going to list that Chevy owner's manual. That was a quick one. That's a quick and easy $15 in the pocket. That was the one that first caught my eye, but all this other jewelry and stuff, I don't really have a lot of knowledge about that. So I'm going to try to gain some of that knowledge, get some of that listed, and flip this into some profit. So let me give you guys a look at that. So here it all is. It's kind of a big mess right now, but here's that owner's manual, a bracelet, that silver piece, the 2 medals, the batteries, the playing cards, another kind of mystery coin, the Polish coin, the breast cancer pins, all the jewelry here. This kind of weird, interesting photo, and I'm not sure if it's a picture of a little baby picture, and it says, cute, isn't it? So maybe that's a little personal item that slipped in here somehow. The spoons, those spoons might be a winner. I don't know, they might be a little surprise. They do have kind of a cool design on them on the handle here that I didn't show you guys very well. Then we have all the pins and these necklaces. I'm going to take those to Mom, get her to help me separate all this jewelry, see maybe if some of it will go to her thrift shop, or maybe I'll list some of it. Stuff like this little pin, this will be a quick, easy little list. this little angel pin as I drop it on the mix of jewelry here. This one would be a quick, easy one. Maybe list that one for, I'm thinking $14.97 if it'll ever focus. That's the thing with this Sony camera. Sometimes it doesn't focus, but there's a good look at it. The white and green and red angels. That one I think, yeah, 15 bucks. Get half your investment back with one pin. This was kind of an interesting necklace here with the floral pendant on the end. And then we have the watches. We have the gold one that I was trying to find a comp for, and the silver one as well. This one was Swiss Ralph and Cardin. What was this one? I forget. We just talked about it, but not Ralph Lauren, Swiss Ralph. I knew I was close. It was Swiss Ralph and Louis Cardin. So those were the two watches we found. Not Pierre Cardin, not Ralph Lauren, Swiss Ralph and Louis Cardin. So we learned some new brands, stuff I didn't know about. There's all kinds of stuff out there in those brands. I mean, they do fragrances and all kinds of stuff, apparel. So we'll get to know these brands. Maybe there's some value, maybe not. Maybe they're kind of just bargain brands, but nice looking watches nonetheless. We should be able to flip them for a few bucks. So like I said, take one last look here, let your eyes gaze upon these and pick an item that you're going to comment on. Which one is your favorite? Which one should I get listed first? Let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate your help. So after you leave that comment, don't forget to hit that subscription button. You like these type of videos, I'm going to do more. Kind of a fun way to share my business with you guys. I do a vlog, a daily vlog of the business, but I'm going to add these online arbitrage videos where I go online, I buy lots, and I try to flip them for profit. And I'm going to keep you guys aware of when these items sells. If you check my daily vlog, I always list what sells. Every morning I'll go on there and tell you guys what sells and let you know throughout the day if I have additional sales. So it's kind of a fun way to keep up with my business and venture into this world and learn a little bit about what you can turn for profit online. We're learning new brands, we're learning new niches, so if you like to gain that kind of knowledge, this is the channel for you. Hit that subscription button, ring that notification bell, that way you can be notified when I drop another online arbitrage video. I want to thank you for watching till the end. Appreciate you for watching. Thank you again. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.